there's a very low percentage of this that is smiles and glory holes.
Yeah, no, I'm posting on the booth for running to. Gotta get in the mood. No, I'm not gonna film. Yeah. And boy, I'm sipping tea in your hood. What the fuck is up? You bought a cup, perk in that blunt, smoking suicide, bloody blood. Pussy bloody talking shit on Twitter. It ain't not enough. How these pussy niggas moving day to day? I had enough. Post with that fucking play, bitch, I steal a face. Dick on that fucking girl, I love it right. Fuck all that talking shit, do that shit for fun. Fuck around with these niggas, ayy. Step up body, fuck, don't you ring. Puff with that clock, ain't that bang. Put that shit right, ain't just play. Run those so hard, fuck nigga, bust really good. My niggas wish that you would, bitch, I'm sipping tea in your hood. What the fuck is up? Bitch, I'm sipping tea in your hood. What the fuck is up? Bitch, I'm sipping tea in your hood. What the fuck is up? Bitch, I'm sipping tea in your bitch, I'm sipping tea in your hood. What the fuck is up? Bitch, I'm sipping tea in your hood. What the fuck is up? Bitch, I'm sipping tea in your hood. What the fuck is up? Yeah, hey, hold on.
I'm not quite sure why I'm here or what I'm doing, but there's a reason. I don't like Facebook, and I don't like the internet. The library blocked my password. Now tell me, does that make any sense to you?
This is absolutely lit. This is lit.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dark Times with Dark Match Steve. I am your little host. Welcome. You guys ready to be educated tonight? Tonight we are doing especially educational stream. Okay? Better pack a fresh bowl, right? Am I right? Better pack a fresh bowl for this one. We're reading case law tonight, guys. I told you we were doing this. I know people have been complaining that I'm still talking about this. Look, you guys we could have done this the easy way. You could have just admitted that I'm right. But here we are. I have to prove it, okay? Because everyone is saying I'm wrong. So here we are. No, so we may have a few new people that may be tuning in from Facebook tonight. Again, tonight we are at Facebook, YouTube, and X, normally called Twitter, but someone addicted to ketamine bought it, so now we call it X for some reason. I don't know. Some people call it X. So wherever you're at, get in the chat. I got you all in one place. In fact, the chat is fixed tonight, guys. I did nothing different turning on the stream or setting up the studio or anything, and we got our chat back up for I can put it back up on the screen. I don't know what happened last night, but you guys are up now. So anyway, wherever you're at, get in the chat. I might have some other people tuning in from Facebook. Look, guys, I've been arguing with a lot of people about this stuff, and I think part of the reason is that I am I'm coming at this as, again, my regulars in here know this. I thought about wearing the Trump hat for this whole stream tonight, because unfortunately 90% of the time that I've tried to like talk about this, people just aren't paying attention, who are like friends with me on social media, and they think that I'm a Democrat. I have no idea why. I've literally never voted for a Democrat. I've never been registered to a particular party. I'm non-party affiliated. So yeah, and then on top of that, I've only ever voted for Donald Trump. When in the presidential elections, I voted in local shit. I voted for Ron DeSantis. I've never voted for a Democrat. And so, whatever, this, most of the people I'm friends with online, I say unfortunately, I was about to say unfortunately, because I'm just like, it is a bit of a headache. And I'll show you guys why. I want to show you guys first. So I've been debating. I've had a busy ass day, guys. My boss is out of town, and I had to run the shop by myself today, and I had to run around for supplies and everything. It's been crazy, guys. But I haven't been able to do as much prep as I would have liked to. I've been thinking about this all day, how to really break this down, because I want to show you guys what what I'm dealing with. And I feel like this is the thing, is at least some of my regulars in here. And guys, look, I know I've been spouting off a lot, and I explained a little of this last night, where I can even acknowledge that in a way, for MAGA, for conservatives, which I no longer want to associate myself with Donald Trump, just for the record, even though I did vote for him, I'm not happy with pretty much anything that's happened so far. But anyway, that's a topic for a whole nother day. I recognize that it's sort of when I get triggered by some MAGA people celebrating this lady's death and saying she got what was coming to her and all this stuff. I fully recognize that it's sort of not fair, because in just a way where we're all laymen's and we're all watching these same video clips and trying to digest them, and the majority of people talking about it are not, experts in law and are for sure not attorneys. So it's sort of not fair, because the MAGA people, conservatives, they have more on the line as far as tarnishing their reputation and maybe their soul for celebrating and being a proponent of what happened to this woman. And the people on the left, I think, on both sides, people are ignorant of the law in this. Unfortunately, though, for MAGA people, if you are making a mistake on this, that means you are endorsing the killing of a woman. If someone on the left is wrong about this, they are wrong in defense of someone who may or may not have been killed unjustly. So I get it that the equation is not fair. And I get frustrated and I get triggered and I scream and talk all this shit about MAGA. And I tried to clarify last night too. I'm not talking about anyone in my chat that has voted for Donald Trump. That is not what I'm referring to. When I'm talking about MAGA, really what I'm saying is I want the chance to debate Tim Pool or any of these fucking people that are proponents of what this agent did. I do not think that they understand use of force and the case law that makes this arguably a terribly disgusting act. And, and it's frustrating dealing with all this shit. And again, so I just want to clarify whatever. It's a fine line I'm walking where I think, like, you know, sometimes I think it is good to shame some people to get them to sort of wake up and realize, like, or at least second guess and say, maybe I shouldn't just be so harsh about this. This is a human life that was lost. Maybe I should tread a little more lightly on this. Nick the Gun Guy, I haven't got in the chat yet, but I saw this pop up. Nick is saying, "Stop dying on this hill." Nick, I'd love to debate you on it tomorrow. I think we could have a good discussion, dude. I really do, because when I watched you and Scott talk about it, you know, I feel like there was just so many instances where we needed to, like, you know, pump the brakes and really. I know you guys weren't debating, so, you know, but where there's a lot of issues I took with the conversation you had with Scott Starbird. It was good live stream, though. I will say, I love when Scott has you on. You know, it's easier to get you to talk than some people that call into other people's podcasts. I'm just kidding. You guys know I'm busting the fat pig's balls. Anyway, okay. Second, well, this is what I was going to say too. I think we might get into the case law stuff first, go through a little bit of this shit. And then, I'm really not sure, but I want to show you guys the conversations that I'm having with the Trump supporters that are on Facebook. I know some people are going to say, your problem starts with the fact that you're on Facebook. You're so right. You're so right. I'm not over the age of 60. I should not be on Facebook. But these people are voting, and these people are boomers, and these people cannot tell the difference between a real video and an AI generated one. And they don't know their rights. This is the same thing I'm experiencing. It feels the same when I'm trying to explain to people that there's case law that arguably makes this shooting unjust. The pushback that I get from it is generally nonsensical and does not dispute my argument when I'm putting it forward, relating the case law to this case. This same thing happens, and it happened today. I'd like to go over it with you guys, because here on my stream, you guys know that you do not have to show your ID to a police officer in every circumstance. You guys know that. Everyone in my chat that's been in here knows this, okay? Because we watch these videos all the time. I save plenty more videos. These auditors that they go out and all they do is film with their camera on a street corner. And then if it's a bank or a business on the corner, they normally come out and say, "Why are you filming? You have to leave." But they're standing on public property. The cops get called, cops show up, and they refuse to show them ID because they have not committed a crime. Everyone in here knows this. We've been over it. But these fucking people, these boomers on Facebook, they have no idea what the laws are. They do not understand their own rights. It is worth us going over here to show you guys how people don't understand the law and how to properly resist police. Probably is a good conversation to have, because refusing ID does not mean you try to run over an officer, which seems to be what people think when I say you don't have to show your ID. But this was an argument I was having with people about immigration and stuff. It's a little bit, slightly related, but off topic a little bit. So anyway, first things first, let me say hello to everybody getting in here and we'll get started. I'll start with the case law stuff first so we can get to that. And if there's people that just don't want to see me, that you guys, I know there's some of you in here, you already know we don't have to go through the ID thing. You don't even care to see, but it might be worth sticking around so you can see how to debate people that don't understand the law. I mean, objectively, I can show you that everything I'm going to show you in regards to that stuff with the ID is objective, undeniable. I could just put it right in front of your face and you can read it yourself. Okay? So it might be worth seeing how to deal with this kind of bullshit when people are just completely uninformed and the kind of bullshit arguments they put at you. So anyway, let's get started here. Brian from Philly, promo code's up in here. Thank you guys for coming to hang. Michael Earl, Johnny Z, appreciate you guys. Matty P's up in here. Guys, I know everybody thinks I'm beating a dead horse here. You guys will see. You'll see it. I got some breaking news with this case as well, guys. This is actually pretty interesting. I'll cover that before we get started with the case law. Bart Hutchison, Scott Starbird's up in here. Scott Starbird abandoned me last night, threw me to the wolves, and logged out. People, it got me nervous. More than one person pointed out that they're like, your mod's gone. Oh, fuck. Eat more. What's up, family? I think I already highlighted you, but what's up again? Hey, Maddie P says the Renee lady was a Chris Isis is actor who got way into her role. You just thought of that because I'm wearing the hat. White Iced Tea, what's up, lover? Classes in session. Yes, it is. What's up, bro? We're just gonna take, guys. I'm gonna learn some stuff here too. I haven't read through all this myself, and I'll show you. I saved an attorney breaking this down. I'm gonna explain what I think, how we interpret it. We'll read it ourselves, and then I'll play this attorney that'll kind of break it down for us. And I'll show you in the video. I have not watched it. I went in about 30 seconds just to make sure that it's the right kind of video that I'm looking for, that he's gonna break down to help us understand the case law. Okay. Nick the Gun Guy said, as someone who is MAGA, we aren't celebrating her death. We see facts over feelings. I can show you plenty of people who are celebrating it and think it's like think it's really funny. I mean, I'm not saying, you probably typed this before I clarified, but no, I'm not referring to you guys. There might be some circumstances. I'll try to clarify if I'm saying like MAGA voters or something, but yeah, no, I'm not trying to single you guys out in chat. Please don't interpret it that way. Truce up in here. What's up? What's up? So Nick the Gun Guy said, Steve, you're not a lawyer. Just because you watch all these videos you speak of doesn't make you an expert. I didn't claim to be an expert. I think I'm right on this. And so apparently so does everybody else. I don't know. I get it. Last night I tried to explain to you guys there's a few honey holes that I know on YouTube. These are pages. The couple that I'm referring to are a few, and they're not super popular, and it's not because the content isn't good. It's because it's related to firearms, and so YouTube buries them. So I have a few little honey holes where there's experts, objectively experts in self-defense and people that train police officers and stuff. And it is a constant thing that I watch all the fucking time because I have a firearm and I have to go out in public. And it's good to learn by example when you see other people draw their gun at the wrong time or, whatever. And everything that I've learned about self-defense, I've learned from these channels, and I could pretty much school anybody in terms of knowing the laws and stuff. I think I've demonstrated that, and I don't think other people are educated enough to see that I've demonstrated that. That's the problem. It's easier to, and again, guys, I could be wrong, but I'm just saying, no offense, but it's easier to prove someone wrong than it is to convince them they've been proved wrong. And, that's how it is. DMS Steve, please wear the boa when you're discussing case law. Do I really need to, guys? Should we do it? Let's do it, guys. Let's do it. Hold on. Fuck this crisis actor hat. All right, we're going Trump hat. We're going Trump hat with boa. All right, listen here, brothers. Hold on. Where's my glasses? Hold on, chat. Wait. Don't watch Tim Pool. Don't go watch gosh, Tim Pool, please. I'm back. Hold on. All right, brothers. I'm here to tell you a little bit about some case law, brother. You see, Donald Trump, he's gone too far, brother. I wish I had another Fu Manchu with the sticky thing on the back. I'd put it on. I'd wear it right now for you guys. I'm your own personal clown. You know that. All right, brother. Let's take a look at this case law, brother. I can't see with these glasses, brother. Look how beat up this Trump hat is. Holy fucking shit. Oh, fuck. Okay. The glasses are not going to work. I can't read the chat. Hold on. Nick says, how about be a respectful member of society and not fuck with yeah, we agree here, buddy. See, I don't know if you think we disagree here, but we don't. And that's the thing. Dan the man, I mean, I love him. He's been in my chat a bunch. I feel like he's kind of avoiding me now, but Dan the man was saying when I said ICE, it's fucked up that MAGA doesn't care, that there's American citizens being shot and Donald Trump is reducing the amount of training that ICE is getting. And my response in Scott Starbird's chat from Dan the man was, you should come to California. You'd feel different. You would want ICE. And it's like, guys, can't we have, this was my whole thing last night, is can we have standards? I don't have to either pick no ICE, no immigration enforcement, or badly trained officers that go around and accidentally kill American citizens. It's a false dichotomy. You guys, just to say we have to accept all of it, that's not true. You can have standards. You realize this, right? We can meet somewhere in the middle where there are ICE agents out there. There is immigration enforcement, but maybe they're very well trained and don't kill American citizens. We're meeting in the Venn diagram in the middle where it makes the really sharp oval. You see? That's how that works. It's a complete false dichotomy. And inevitably, these are the kind of arguments that I get all fucking day. No one understands my position. And it's not because I'm not explaining it. All right, let's go. Let's get this started. So first things first, let me pull up, we should pull up a few videos, a few different angles of this, I guess. Should I go to Twitter? Let's go. I'll open a few different tabs of Twitter so we can kind of switch back and forth because there's a new angle that's been released. Also, here, let me bring this up. I got to show you guys this. So, So, 6 prosecutors quit over DOJ push to investigate Renee Good shooting case. Let's see, which one should we check out here? Check this out, guys. I know you guys think I'm just like, a funny crackhead, but it's okay. I'm telling you, in the end, I am almost certain in the end, I will be vindicated in this. And I hope you guys don't block me. I hope you stick around. I hope you don't block me. And we can all come together after this is all said and done and say, hey, maybe when this fucking actual lunatic who spends way too much time watching certain stuff, maybe when he's making some arguments, we should just kind of listen up or weigh the arguments. Federal prosecutors quit in protest over lack of investigation into ICE shooting. How about that, guys? Looks like other people are dying on this hill. Nick the gun guy, hold on a second. Nick says, in the end, when you are proven wrong, then what, Steve? No, so Nick the gun guy, I said this last night. I will be happy. I will be happier if this case goes to trial, and at least, even if I lose, and I bet money on this. I said, even if I lose this bet, and I'm wrong about this, I'll be happy that this went to trial, and I will at least see prosecutors making the same arguments that I'm making. You will see that. You will see that. That at least will happen. So if you guys have said any of the arguments I put forward are inaccurate, they're as inaccurate as an attorney's interpretation. You will see that. What were we saying? Oh yeah, but as long as it goes to trial, I will be happy. That's what I was saying. If this doesn't go to trial and it's just my word against every other retard on the internet, that will be disappointing, because right now we're all just it's just a bunch of noise. And I think it's really for true laymen's, and I am, but there's a lot of people that know way less about this than me. And so it's just everybody else's word. But once you guys have to watch prosecutors lay out my same arguments, you'll know that I'm not just a raving lunatic. You can at least say, well, I guess Steve was at least arguing some credible, at least as credible as an attorney would argue. So here, let me get back to this article. Okay. Federal prosecutors, again, guys, you guys asked me why I'm dying on this hill. Why are prosecutors dying on this hill? You guys think that I'm so way off base, huh? You guys think I'm so off base here. Federal prosecutors quit in protest over the lack of investigation into ICE shootings. 6 lawyers from U.S. Attorney's Office in Minnesota quit, along with 4 leaders of DOJ's Civil Rights Division. Wave of federal prosecutors in Minnesota and Washington, D.C. have resigned in protest over the Justice Department's decision not to hold a civil rights investigation into the fatal shooting of an unarmed U.S. citizen by a federal immigration agent in Minneapolis. 6 lawyers from the U.S. Attorney's Office in Minnesota quit on Tuesday over the department's reluctance to investigate the shooter of Renee Good, the New York Times reported. Among them is Joseph H. Thompson, who was second in command at the office and led a large-scale fraud inquiry last year that led in part to the Trump administration sending a surge of immigration agents into the state. Second in command at the attorney's office. Okay. So Thompson and his colleagues, the Times said, were upset at senior Justice Department officials demanding a criminal inquiry into any ties between Good and her widow, Becca, into activist groups, and the refusal of the FBI to allow state investigators to join into the investigation of the shooting. Yeah, so this is what they're resigning over. So are you guys comprehending this, right? So what they're saying is they're resigning because all these investigators are actually digging into the past of these women and their ties to the anti-ICE activist groups, but they're refusing to investigate why this bitch was killed. So, I don't feel so dumb now, guys. You know what? I'm glad I pulled this up and read it, because apparently there are people dying on this hill, sacrificing their whole career as a prosecutor because of how disgusting this is. Just for votes, by the way. Yeah, well, yeah, everything's for votes. I'm on here for votes too. Who cares? Okay, let me get back to this. So, separately, 4 leaders of crucial divisions in the U.S. Justice Department have also resigned. The lawyer left the Civil Rights Division which has a criminal investigations unit that investigates the use of force by police officers, according to MS Now, citing 3 people it said were briefed about the departures. The resignations follow a decision by Harmet Dillon, the Trump administration aligned Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights, not to investigate the January 7th killing of Good by Jonathan Ross, the ICE agent. Dillon told the unit the week before that it would not be involved in any investigations. On Tuesday, Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche said in a statement, there is currently no basis for a criminal civil rights investigation. The statement, first reported by CNN, did not elaborate on how the department had reached a conclusion that no investigation was warranted. Yeah, because they didn't finish drawing it out with crayon. A Justice Department spokesperson confirmed the resignation as a statement to The Guardian, but denied that they were related to the Minneapolis shooting. Although we typically don't comment on personal matters, we can confirm that the criminal section leadership leadership gave notice to the department, the Civil Rights Division, and requested to participate in the Department of Justice's early retirement program well before the events of Minnesota. So they're saying some of these people were supposed to retire anyway. Wow, this is crazy, guys. This is crazy. All right, so anyway, just wanted to show you guys that. That's breaking news today. We've got prosecutors quitting their jobs. Okay, so there are some people that have argued. We'll start first, I think, with Tennessee versus Garner. Okay, this is the first one we're going to go to. Let me pull up. Let me get up a few different versions of this video so we can take a look at it together. Hold on one second. Then let me see. Where is the new one? Looking for that new. Oh, I think I got it on my Facebook. Okay, so I'll pull up my Facebook here. We'll have all our angles ready so that we can and I don't know if Nick and who else is in the chat that might want to argue with me about this, whatever. Nick, let me I didn't get your email last night. I think I have your phone number. I'll text you to get your email. I'm not sure if you're in the chat, but let's hold off on the debating tonight. Let me lay forward or lay out these we'll read through the case law and then see. I'll sort of give my opinion on how I think this is related, and I will try to also give a steel man argument to the opposition. Then tomorrow, if Nick is interested and can swing it time wise, I'd love to have Nick on for a debate so we can talk about a lot of this shit. And I think it'll actually be helpful for everyone to sort of see where people's mindsets are and on our perspective, where we're coming from on a lot of this shit. And it could be really helpful. So anyway, hold on. This should be on my home page. Sorry, guys. I've really had a busy ass day. Okay, so I got this. Okay, so we're good here. What is this? How's this going to show up? That's not going to work. There's a brand new video that came out of It's a neighbor's video. I'm trying to find it, showing what happened. Just bear with me for 1 second, guys. God damn, bro, I can't find this new one. It's from the neighbor's camera. It's going around, but the version I saved on Facebook is shitty. This grainy ass video. You gotta be kidding me. All right, I think I got to just get started here and maybe try. I can show you the video that I have. It won't be the best quality, but at least I can show you guys what I'm talking about. Okay, so we'll get started here. Let me, I'll pull this up. Let's go to Tennessee versus Garner. So this involves whether or not you can shoot a fleeing felon. Okay, guys. So let's take a look at this and apply this case law to this Renee case and see how it fits. Okay, that's basically what we're gonna do here. Let me and then I'll pull up the videos. We'll take a look. So Tennessee versus Garner. Guess we can, well, Wikipedia might be easier to digest for everybody. Let's see. Okay, so this right here it's explaining what happened and everything. I don't know if we should go through. I don't know if we should read through all of this. So let's go to the Wikipedia first. We'll see if we have to read through this. Okay, Tennessee versus Garner. So this is the case law that establishes that shooting at a fleeing felon is illegal. Shooting at an unarmed fleeing suspect, not just felon, an unarmed fleeing suspect. They may or may not be a felon. It doesn't matter. It's the fact that it's a suspect that they're trying to arrest that is fleeing and unarmed. So in this case, what happened is there was a guy that robbed. I'll read through it, but what happened, but the summary is like a guy was robbing a house, something like this, and the cops were called. When the cops show there, the guy is like, when the cops show up there, the burglar is in the backyard of the house or in some part of the yard, and The cops come out of the house, or they see him in this section of the yard, and he's like by a fence. And the officer shines his light and sees the guy, and he sees his hands, that he doesn't have any weapons. He knows, he acknowledges, in this case, he admits, I know this guy is unarmed. I saw he has no weapons. I had no reason to believe he had any weapons. And the guy tried to jump the fence to escape. And this guy was shot while he was trying to escape. And again, all he did was burglarize a house. He didn't just murder a lady inside the house. He didn't just fucking steal someone's child and was running away with it. He stole a little bit of property from someone's house. Yes, it's illegal. Yes, that's bad, 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 and you should go to jail. But you can't just shoot somebody over some stolen property, someone who is not a violent threat. They've given you no evidence to suggest that they are a violent threat. Odds on DMS, leaving out one of the most important parts of the case. What part are you referring to? I guarantee I'll address it all. I guarantee it. I think I already know where you might be going with this, which is why I wanted to pull up the clips of the event and have them ready. Yeah, so I knew exactly where you were going with this, and I'm going to address this in a minute. Maddie P, whether or not the vehicle is a weapon is dependent upon the intent of its use. I'll show you this, and I'll show you why that comes into play in all of this. Because she was unarmed unless she was trying to run the officer over. So when we want to debate how do Maddie says you're already lost. Okay, dude, I guess if you're this doesn't help anything. Why don't you put forward an argument to argue a counterpoint to argue to what I'm saying? Just saying you're lost. Bro, do you not understand? Hold on a second. Hold on. Maddie P, do you think a vehicle is always a deadly weapon? Answer in the chat. Let me just get a straight answer. Do you think a vehicle is always a deadly weapon? Simple yes or no. I just did what? It's a yes or no question. You think a vehicle is always a deadly weapon? Of course not. So yeah, thank you. So when does a vehicle become a deadly weapon? This should be my conversation with Nick the Gun Guy, and undoubtedly this will be part of it. Loaded question. Bro, I'm Don Thomas. It's not a loaded question. I'm asking a legal question. It's the law. You guys don't know the law. This is my point. A vehicle is not a deadly weapon by default. You have to have evidence that the person driving the car is using it as a weapon, intending to use it as a weapon. Every time someone gets hit, every time a pedestrian gets hit by a car, it's not vehicular homicide. It's not assault with a deadly weapon. Sometimes it's reckless driving, and you go to jail for that, because when they look at the evidence, they can determine sometimes whether or not the person intended to hit the person with their car. That is exactly, stop there. That is exactly when a vehicle becomes a weapon. So we're going to look at the video. How are you going to disprove her intent? We're going to look at the video. Unfortunately, all the Trump supporters were showing the officer's badge cam. We're going to go through it very slowly in a minute so I can show you guys there is a complete lack of evidence that she intended to use the car as a weapon, which means she was just fleeing and it's not a deadly weapon. So Tennessee versus Garner applies because she was not armed. The officer has to be able to articulate evidence that this person was intending to run him over with her car. Do you guys understand that? Do you need me to like prove it to you by showing you a Google search? I don't know why this is like, when does a vehicle become a deadly weapon? Let me screen share with you guys. I guess, I'll Google everything to show you if I have to. When does a vehicle become a deadly weapon? A vehicle becomes a deadly weapon when used with the intent to cause serious bodily harm or death. So we have to look at the video, and you guys are asking me for proof that she didn't intend whatever. That's not I can do that. But I need you guys to also understand, I know you guys don't like you might not understand debating and stuff as well as I do, but you guys are making the claim. You understand that? If you are saying that she was armed, you have to show evidence from the video that she was intending to use it as a weapon. The fact that he got hit by the car, which is debatable, and I'm going to show you that here in a minute too. The fact that the officer got touched by the car does not prove intent, because people get hit by cars all the time. And so it's up to the officers and investigators to investigate and determine the intent of the person hitting the other person with the car. You have to prove she intended, not me. You guys and this officer have to prove she had intent to use it as a deadly weapon to argue that Tennessee versus Garner does not apply. So again, we'll read through the case law real quick. Does everybody agree? Can you read this? Can you read this right here? Do we all agree? A vehicle becomes a deadly weapon when used with the intent to cause serious bodily harm. Okay. We all understand that, right? I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm just being like for real. Maddie, when this goes to court, the prosecutor has the burden of proof. When you are telling me that, no. So this is interesting you bring that up. Yeah. So the prosecutor is going to have the burden of proof. If the prosecutor wants to prove murder, he's going to have to start proving intent about the officer. And, but no, the officer, if this is the thing, Maddie, you're not understanding. Both people have burdens of proof in this court. The officer is going to argue that she was armed with a deadly weapon. He is going to have to explain why. The reason why is going to be her intent. He's going to have to explain what he saw her doing that showed him intent to try to run her over, and that he wasn't trying to just block her in with his body. The officers have to explain why they took their shots. No, he doesn't. Dan the man, who said that? Who said a cop has to die before he can assume bodily harm? I'll show you guys. Let's go to the video. Let me read through at least some of this. Well, you guys understand. I already said. I basically explained the case. This case, the officer claimed he was trying to stop the guy from escaping, the burglar, and he shot him in the back. They initially said the officer was okay to shoot an unarmed man fleeing and kill them to stop him by any means. And then it eventually worked its way up to the Supreme Court, and they decided, no, that's absolutely ridiculous. You cannot end a human being's life because they made a mistake and, tried to break into someone's house to get some quick cash. So that's basically Tennessee versus Garner, right? We're going to have to go right to the video so I can show you guys where this argument is ridiculous, saying that it was a weapon. Let me see here. Okay, let's go to this one. Okay, I gotta find this other version, guys, because there's a new video that came out, and it shows that she drives away from him. It shows it so clearly. Wait, let me see. Let me see here. Man, I got to show you guys this video. This is like, it's crucial to explain this. It's a brand new video. It just came out today. And it's like a surveillance video. Let me see here, guys. Dude, how the fuck can I not find this? God damn it, guys. This is fucked up. You guys aren't, you're not even going to be able to see what the fuck I'm talking about if I show you the one, if I show you this video, it's too small and grainy on fucking Facebook for me to be able to show you what the fuck's going on. Oh, this is it. Thank God I found it. Okay. Okay, so let me go here. I found it, guys. I found it. It's a good version too. I know you guys don't want to see it. I get it. Okay. So, let me go here. So let's go here first. So we all know this video. This is the officer's POV video. Everybody seen this shit. Matty P, you're left with a reasonableness standard, which is totally subjective. All right, so let's. But let me show you all this because I believe there's plenty evidence here to show her intent. And I think you guys just want to ignore it. And the thing is, I think some of you, everybody thinks I'm dying on a hill here. And I just think you guys are refusing to look at the evidence, because I don't know how many MAGA voters, I will specify, MAGA voters that I am seeing going around and pushing this narrative that Renee was acting mean to this officer. I've seen that all over the place, that people are claiming she was being rude to the officer and yelling at him. Now, if some of you people have turned into that big of pussies, you might just want to stay home. You really might. Because this disproves all of the fucking narrative about that she was a crazy, batshit crazy woman who was probably threatening them. Whoops, you guys debunked it with your own video that proves nothing in your favor. So what we're going to go through here, I'm going to point out all of what I think are like some of the crucial moments that show this woman's intent and this officer's intent. Let's go for it. Shit, wrong. Okay, here we go. So right now he's getting out of his vehicle with his cell phone recording. Okay. So he's standing in front of her vehicle here. And again, I would argue if she wanted to just run over an ICE agent, she would have done it here. She has a chance here to run over an ICE agent. Why doesn't she do it? Maybe because she doesn't want to. That's not why she's down there. She's literally just down there to make a bunch of noise. Do you guys understand how this works, what these ICE people do? You think that they're like just going to try to park the car in the road to block it. You realize that's not what they do. You realize that? Like, generally what they do is they go out and they make a bunch of noise. They're honking their horns and doing all this shit, blowing whistles to alert the illegal immigrants that ICE is in the area. That is how this works. These people are not, for the most part, as far as I know, from all the other footage I've seen of them doing this shit, they are not actually trying to go use their vehicle to block the road so they can't drive. But why would they want to keep the agents there longer by blocking the road? It actually makes no sense, okay? But I've seen other people say, oh, she pulled in between their vehicles. That is not true. This officer who is recording this pulled behind her car. There's another SUV that drove past in front of her car, okay? So she was not trying to block their path. She's just pulled out into the road, making as much noise as she can, because that is what they do to alert the illegal immigrants. That is what is going on in this video. All the video showing her sitting and honking her horn rhythmically, and MAGA people are spreading it like, look how she's acting. Yeah, she's just making a bunch of noise. That's not illegal. She's not trying to block ICE's way because she waves them by. So you guys are at square one with showing intent that she wanted to kill anybody. So here we are. He's walking in front of her car. She's not acting like she's trying to ram him or anything. She's backing up, in fact. This guy's walking up to her in front, and she's going in reverse at this very moment, backing away from him.
I'm not mad at you.
That right there, that's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you. I know you guys don't know what that is, but it's called de-escalation. I know people defending ICE right now, you don't even know what that term is. You've never heard it before, so you think they're just supposed to go rip people out of cars. It's called de-escalation, okay? The police are supposed to do that. They're supposed to be taught to do that. And instead, we have the crazy Democrat lady doing it, practicing de-escalation. Is there anyone in my chat who would dare tell me that this lady is being rude or yelling? I'm yelling. Is there anyone who would dare be such a pussy that they would pretend that this is like scary behavior or something? Somebody please, because everyone online seems to think so. I don't see it. I'm wondering what kind of like brain damage someone has to have to think that this lady is being aggressive and wants to kill somebody. Anyone. No? Okay, yeah, that's what I thought, because that's ridiculous to say this woman is being rude or mean or anything. This is about as nice as you can talk to someone, and you dare call this woman a fucking like piece of shit.
That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you.
It's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you. I can barely hit that tone with my voice. It's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you. Oh my God, shoot her. She's a threat.
Show your face. I'm not mad at you.
Okay, so now he walks to the back of the car, and as she's saying, I'm not mad at you, she could have just ran him over. She could just put it in reverse and run him over, but she's still telling him she's not mad at him. What did Kenny say? Kenny nailed it. I don't know what he nailed. Okay. White Ice T said he texted me something, a video. Let me see here.
Oh, what was that? You needed slowed down? Please hold.
Here's the officer. Here's the vehicle reversing. The officer is not in front of the vehicle. She reverses, and now he is in front of the vehicle. He initially is to...
Dude, that's so White Ice T thinks that this... someone else on Facebook was telling me to watch Tim Pool's show because Tim Pool proved something. Tim Pool is the biggest hack ever. White Ice T, that is like... I gotta just try to be nice. No, White Ice T, that Tim Pool is completely wrong. And if I could find, oh, I did find, okay, so we're gonna get to the other video in a minute, guys. Here we go. So, here he's at the back.
It's okay, we don't change our plates every morning.
He's walking around the car. He is not worried about getting ran over, and there's no sign that she's gonna run him over.
Just so you know.
Still looking for the intent of Renee Good to murder an ICE agent. Still looking.
It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen, former fucking guy. You want to come at us?
Okay, so right now, guys, pay attention. Pay attention, because this officer is going to have to explain this if he ever goes to court. This officer is going to have to explain this here. Why did you walk over to your car and then walk back in front of her hood? He recorded a 360 all the way around her car, recorded her face, recorded her wife to gather evidence on them. And they have, ICE has a special facial recognition software that they use too as well. So they're probably going to try to run them through the system. He walked all the way around her car and got 360 footage. So what's about to happen now?
You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy.
So what you don't know also is he switches his cell phone to the other hand. And some people are arguing that this actually shows the officer's intent to reach for his gun before there is any kind of threat. And I'll show you the other video that just came out like today or last night that proves this officer wasn't even in the way. He leans over onto the car.
Go ahead.
Out of the car.
See, listen to that. Listen to that. This officer is standing right here. Tim Pool's going to pretend the officer is like towards out in the street. The officer is standing right by his vehicle, and he stays there until, listen for it, get out of the car. Get out of the fucking car. ICE agent knows to go back in front of her vehicle to stop her. That's what he is doing. He put himself in harm's way. Here we go. We'll play it. He's over back by his vehicle, already did a 360 all the way around her car. Democrat lady is talking very kindly and just sitting in the road. And here we go.
You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car.
Out of the car, out of the car. So now that the shooter sees that the other agent's trying to detain her, he's going to walk over to the front of her car to try to stop her. Let's go.
Get out of the fucking car. Get out of the car.
Whoa! So you saw that? You saw that? Why does he walk back to the front of the car, guys? Why does he do it? Because he hears the other agent trying to detain her. So he goes to walk in front of her car so that when she pulls forward, he can shoot. Maddie, you said it shows his intent to protect the public. What does standing in front of her car do to protect the public? What is walking back in front of her car and then shooting a driver, incapacitating them, causing the car to drive off into the distance and hit other people's property? How does that save the community? Please explain. I'd love to hear that. How is he protecting himself by walking back in front of her car? Explain. Your favorite darkness. Standing in front of her car is actually illegal. We'll get to that, buddy. Believe me, we're going to get to that. I know everybody thinks I'm just yelling out of emotion and that I don't have reasons to. It's okay. I get it, guys. You'll eventually, all the evidence is going to come out. I'm praying. I'm praying. Maddie P, that's not an answer to my question. Bro, that is so funny. What shows intent to protect the public by walking in front of her car? Tim Pool's White Iced Tea. White Iced Tea. I'm going to play the video you sent to me, and people think that Tim Pool is making a point. He's not. The officer walks back in front of her car. Let me pull. I got to pull up the video you sent to me. I have to, because this is what people think. This guy that talked to me on Facebook today thought that Tim Pool proved something he didn't. It's absolutely laughable that people think he did. So here, let me pull this up. Let's go over here, guys. Tim Pool. Hey guys, this is Tim Pool, the guy that you all respect and you think he's like a real journalist. This is Tim Pool, and I'm about to show you how he's full of shit, okay? I want everybody paying attention, because this is why I get pissed off and tell you to go watch Tim Pool. He is a hack, and I'm about to show you, okay? I'm about to show you. Everybody pay attention, please. Let's go to it. Hold on. Where's the volume? Here we go.
It slowed down. Please hold.
Here's the officer.
Watch this.
Here's the vehicle reversing. The officer is not in front of the vehicle.
Officer's not in front of the vehicle. True. Because he's at his own car and he's about to walk back. Watch.
She reverses, and now he is in front of the vehicle.
So Tim Pool, I just showed you guys this fucking hack you guys are watching lies to you objectively. He just said the officer didn't walk in front of her car. Let's go back to the video we've all seen that Tim Pool is going to pretend it did not exist. Here we go, guys. Tim Pool's a fucking hack and a liar. Here we go.
You want to come at us? I say go get yourself.
See? Did she reverse to aim her car at him, or did he walk back over, guys? Did he walk back over? Let's see.
Some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the fucking car.
Did he walk back over, guys? Is Tim Pool your hero? Is Tim Pool your hero, guys? Is that your favorite liar that you have, Tim Pool? Great, guys. Good job. I have a regular job and a life, and I can better report this than Tim Pool. His only job is to report stuff. He is an investigative journalist or whatever the fuck he pretends to be. And I'm reporting this better when I just got off of an 8-hour shift. Anyone want to tell me he's not a hack? Anyone, please tell me he's not a complete hack and lying to you. Let's go back to Timmy's video, guys. I want to absolutely rub this in everyone's face like dog shit because this is what you get for watching hacks. This is what you get. You go around looking absolutely crazy because you're sharing bullshit.
He initially is to the right of the vehicle. By all means, argue he should not have placed himself in this position. We're talking about seconds. Now watch this. The vehicle stops here. The wheels are pointed left. As you can see, the officer is standing right in front of the vehicle. Now watch this. Right there. You see the front tire? Watch the front tire right here. The wheels are pointed left, and she accelerates. The wheel spins out.
That's how you go forward. Yes, you have to press the gas and the wheels have to start turning. Yes. All right, let's go back to where he's lying, and I can disprove the rest of what he's saying.
Was that you need it slowed down? Please hold.
Here's the officer.
Here he's about to tell you guys again. I just want to make it very clear. I want to make it very clear that Tim Pool is lying to you, and you should not be mad that I'm emotional. You should be mad that Tim Pool's lying to you. Hello, how many hundreds of thousands of dollars does he make? How much fucking money does Tim Pool make? And I am reporting this better. I'm reporting this more objectively. Tim Pool's seen the other footage. You guys know that, right? Tim Pool's seen the other footage.
Here's the vehicle reversing. The officer is not in front of the vehicle. She reverses, and now he is in front of the vehicle.
He didn't walk over, guys.
He initially is to the right of the vehicle.
Okay, so let's go back here. Let's go back. Wrong button. Let's see, guys. Did he walk up to the vehicle or did she reverse and try to aim towards him? Let's take another look, guys. Let's take another look. We have to do this because everyone's got retard brain. Let's do it. Go down here.
Come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen, former fucking guy.
Walking back over to his car.
You want to come at us? You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the
And he's walking back to go in front of her car.
fucking car.
The last 2 feet of him walking over is when she is reversing and she's trying to aim away from him. Now watch, and I will prove that too. This is all coming full circles. So we have to, again, if you want to say that she meant to hit this officer, you have to show intent. So here we go. So when she is when she's starting to move forward, where are the hands going? Let's slow it down so that no one can deny that they see this. Let's slow it down. Half speed here. Where are her hands going as the officer gets to her left side? What direction is she turning the steering wheel?
Get out of the car.
Officer is towards the left side of her left side of her front of the car. Where are her hands going? Hold on.
Out of the car.
Turning to her right. Officer is to her left. She's turning to her right. That's not towards the officer. For those going at home, left and right are opposite directions. I just want to make sure it's very clear here. Whoa! Whoa!
Get out of the fucking car. out of the car.
Now, so if you did want to go by someone's actions and see, you wanted to I just for the sake of argument here, this is not like something I'm hanging my hat on, but since people want to insert intent into Renee Good, you want to assume intent. For some reason, when she said, "It's okay, I'm not mad at you," that was really rude and she's a lunatic. I just don't understand how you think that's crazy and that somehow shows she wanted to kill the officer. But when the officer just shoots an unarmed woman, he calls her a fucking bitch. I don't know. Does that sound like a scared person or someone who's very angry and just did something out of anger? I feel like I feel like I'm actually talking. Oh my God, dude. I can't believe I have to explain this. I feel like I'm talking to toddlers. Here's how to recognize emotions. I feel like Miss Rachel right now. I'm the Miss Rachel of this fucking Renee Good shooting. Here is how you identify emotions. When someone is talking mean to you, that's how you know they might be angry. When someone talks nice to you, that means they're being kind. Do you recognize emotions? This is what I feel like I'm having to do right now. Okay, so let's go to the other footage. Right there, I think that's enough to prove it. But let's check this out, guys. Since people want to pretend they can't tell he's towards her left side and she is objectively turning to the right, everyone's pretending you can't see that. Everyone's pretending you cannot see that. So let's go to this other footage that shows from the perspective of head-on from Renee's car, and you can see where her car goes and where the officer's standing. So basically, this security footage I'm about to play, it's almost at the very perspective you're looking at, but from like 2 houses away. Okay? Let me pull this up for us. That is not the right tab. Okay. Okay, I think we got to add.
Style. 3 for great gifts. You choose comfort, softness, bit of So run in Bombas, sleep in Bombas.
Okay, what is going on? That's the
I have to wait in Bombas. Give back in Bombas. Because with every purchase, 1 is donated. Bombas. Visit bombas.com and get 20% off your first order.
Now to Minneapolis, and as we said, new video tonight. This is some of it. It is grainy, difficult to see. Could provide. Certainly provides another angle on what happened.
Oh yeah, this is it, guys. Here's your new footage. Maddie P. Yeah, emotional. Do you understand the difference between emotions, right? You guys are the ones saying she intended to kill somebody. I'm saying there's no evidence. In fact, there's evidence to the contrary that she was being very kind. I'm saying there's more evidence the officer wanted to kill somebody based on his emotions. Yes, we're judging emotions. She had emotions that were displaying kindness and attempts to de-escalate. He was displaying emotions that he was angry and just fucking killed somebody and is not sad or scared at all. He sounds angry. Can we agree on that? I'm going back into Miss Rachel mode. Do we understand what anger sounds like? Scott Sarber said, what about Rebecca's threat? You're talking about the wife? What about it? That's completely unrelated to deciphering whether or not he should have shot her. I think the word I'm looking for is irrelevant. All right, let's play this video, guys. Let's play it. Let's take a look.
Happened before 37-year-old Minneapolis mom was shot and killed by an ICE officer shortly after dropping her 6-year-old off at school. Now, it comes on what has been...
I got to hit this bowl, guys. Oh, I'm just praying this goes to court, guys. I'm just praying. I want to see it. I want to see it all go down.
A tense day there with more federal agents surging into the city. Minnesota's governor putting the state National Guard on standby to support local law enforcement if necessary. This is the live images of a protest, a demonstration gathering in the streets there. This is what it looks like right now, downtown Minneapolis.
Kirk, exactly. The victim never threatened the ICE agent. It's like almost entirely almost entirely irrelevant. She wasn't driving the car. Scott, you're saying, Scott, that is, let me just stop you there and tell you that is not going to hold up in court. The cop can't say he shot one person because someone else threatened them on behalf of somebody else. That is not going to happen. You're saying play it again, the POV? Well, guys, hold on, because this footage I'm about to show you that she was turning away from the officer. People are trying to, again, this is all my evidence against you, everybody else's claims that she was trying to hit him. Can we agree what trying to hit him would look like? Hold on. I've got to go back into Miss Rachel mode now. Can we agree what trying to hit the officer would look like? You would think she would turn her wheel towards the officer and accelerate and keep trying to turn towards him. So if the officer was at the right and she turned to the right, but he goes to the left, you'd expect her to turn left. You wouldn't expect her to just turn in one direction, which in the scheme of things is in the direction away from the ICE agents. Okay, you wouldn't expect that. If she was trying to hit them, you'd want to see her go directly towards him. Let's check this out. They better play this whole fucking video.
Have also gathered at this shooting scene, which itself is just blocks away from where police killed George Floyd 5.5 years ago. Now, earlier today, armed agents at a federal building near the airport pushed back protesters, deploying some kind of tragedy of her own making. He's debating that. Just to remind you, here it is, slowed down. This is from one of the camera angles that we have. You see one officer walk over to the car. He told her to get the F out of the vehicle, put his hand into the window. The car, she backs up. The car's reverse lights go on. The officer pulls on the door handle with his right hand, eventually reaching inside the open window with his left. The other officer is now in front of her car, and her reverse lights go out. When the car begins to move forward, the officer unholsters his weapon. He fires it once. It appears towards her windshield. Second time, what appears to be her open window, and then a third shot immediately afterwards. And the car goes careening down the street. The officer reholsters his weapon. Now,
bro, look, hold on a second. Hold on.
Third shot immediately afterwards, and the car goes careening down the street.
Bro, look at this. An officer is not supposed to shoot at your car as opposed to getting out of the way. You can see the moment he goes to pull for his weapon, and he has plenty of time to step to the right. You can see it right here, guys. They're not just supposed to try to shoot you. A vehicle that is in drive, and you shoot the driver and they become incapacitated, that vehicle is now loose, driving off into the sunset or someone's fucking property, which it did. They are not supposed to just shoot them.
The officer reholsters his weapon. Now, take a look at it again. This shooting in real time from two different angles, which we've synced side by side.
No! No! Shame! Shame! Oh my God! What the? What the? You just what the did you do?
As I mentioned, CNN has obtained some new video. Again, it's grainy and distant, but it shows 4 full minutes leading up to the shooting. It shows Renee Good's maroon Honda Pilot entering from the right there. Then 20 seconds later, someone gets out on the passenger side. We don't know who or why this person leaves the car. We then see her turn and pull perpendicular across the street.
All right, so here we go, guys. This is where you're going to have to start paying attention, and you're going to see this is even though it's grainy and it's distant, so there's been some confusion of which way who's moving and whatever. Tim Pool thinks it's cool to just lie to you, even though you can objectively demonstrate that this officer walked in front of her car. Just if you just watch the officer's cell footage, it is objective. He walks in front of her car. I'm not Tim Pool. I won't sit here and lie to you because I'm a political hack. So I'll be objective here and say that is absolute bullshit to say that she just completely aimed towards him and he didn't walk in front of her car. You're going to see here, though, from this angle, you'll be able to tell that her car is 100% aiming away from him, and that he is at the very, from her perspective, the very, very left-hand side of like the nose of her car, and she is turning to the right and goes towards her right.
Seeming to block the way, but as you see here, leaving room for vehicles to pass by her on either side.
So you see this vehicle? You guys see this one, right? This is the agent that is the shooter who got out of the car. He pulled behind her there and blocked her from moving there. Other people can go down the road. So everybody that's been lying and saying she pulled that's what people have been saying, that she pulled in between their Tahoes to stop the motorcade of ICE vehicles. That is not what happened. Again, guys, all the evidence shows she pulled into the street and was just honking on her horn and making as much noise and getting as much attention as possible, because that is what they do to alert the illegal immigrants that ICE is there. I'm not saying that it's right that they do that. I'm saying that what she did is making a bunch of noise is not illegal. That might be a traffic infraction to just stop in the road. But she didn't. What you guys have been saying is that she like pulled in between their Tahoes and tried to block ICE. That's not what she's doing. She's just out there making a bunch of noise in the middle of the street. So anyway, let's just keep going here. And it's going to show where everybody moves, and we'll go through it slow. I don't know if I have control over the speed actually here. But anyway, let's go.
Finally, there is this new angle of the federal officer who shot her. He arrives. Another federal SUV pulls up. As the ICE officer briefly goes back to his car, then he returns.
Okay, did you see it right there? Grainy and doctored. I mean distant. There's a difference between doctored and distant. I don't think this is doctored. This is just security footage that someone sent. But did you see it there, guys? You can see clear as day that he is the officer walks across the front and he is on her left side as she is turning to the right.
It was Renee Good's maroon Honda Pilot entering from the right there. Then 20 seconds later, someone gets out on the passenger side. We don't know who or why this person leaves the car. We then see her turn and pull perpendicular across the street, seeming to block the way. But as you see here, leaving room for vehicles to pass by her on either side. Finally, there is this new angle.
Okay, so look at this here, guys. So right here, I can show you who is who. This is Renee's wife. This is her the moment that she is talking shit to the ICE agent, the shooter. ICE agent has already done the 360 around her car with his camera, cell phone, recording everything, okay? That's where we are here. And then again, Tim Pool will lie to you, but here you can clearly see the ICE agent is back at his car after gathering the evidence he needed, and then it's not until the other officer tries to detain her, he walks back in front of the car.
of the federal officer who shot her. He arrives. Another federal SUV pulls up.
Okay, so you guys see, we got her two headlights. You can see her right side headlight. You can see the left side headlight. There's a tree and the officer are in the middle here. There's a tree that's growing, but the officer is standing right here. The shooter is standing right here.
As the ICE officer
now he is in front of the left side headlight. I wish Nick, the gun guy, was in here, because you guys, when Nick was on Scott's stream last night or 2 nights ago, whenever, he was saying that she steered towards him. It is objectively false. Objectively false, and you can see it right here, because we have this angle of the camera is almost directly pointed at the nose of her car, going parallel with the nose of her car. Okay, so we can see her two headlights, and that he is now standing in front of her left side headlight, and she's about to turn to the right. Let's go. Lock in.
briefly goes back to
to the right. Okay.
Federal SUV pulls up.
Again, he's about to be in front of the left side headlight.
As the ICE officer briefly goes back to his...
She pulls to the right. She was not trying to hit him. I know you guys want a demon here. You want that because it makes it a lot easier to excuse. It's easy as pie to just wash your hands with it and say, she had what's coming to her. Donald Trump, 2028. It's like, okay, guys, everybody chill.
Car, then he returns, and with another agent grabbing at her door, she starts to move forward. Again, it's hard to see from this angle, followed by 3 gunshots in quick succession. 4 minutes in all from start to finish. But for all the video that may reveal, it says nothing about why Renee Good was where she was or what she was doing there. And it's not all we don't know. Somehow the administration...
I think we do have a lot of evidence to show why she was there and what she was doing. The other video shows her just sitting there honking her horn. And every bit of footage we've saw that's longer than 30 seconds shows that she was waving the ICE officers by the front of her car, waving them, saying, go ahead, pass, get out of our neighborhood. So she was not trying to block them. So where should we go? Let me see. There's that. Where is the other angle? Here we go. All right, so here is this. I'm going to show you. Hold on. Fucking Twitter's being retarded. Let me get you guys over onto this tab. We're going to take a look at this, and then we're going to go over. We'll take another look at Tennessee versus Garner. I think, if you're not, I've put forward a lot of my arguments as to why it's not a deadly weapon, and I have not seen any, and I'd love to hear from Nick what evidence he thinks there is that she was intending to use the vehicle as a deadly weapon and not as a vehicle to flee. Because I think I put forward, she's turning her wheel to the right, officers towards the left. She's speaking kindly to him, has multiple chances to run him over and never does. And you can see in the earlier footage that she is pulled out into the street, just honking her horn to make a bunch of noise and lets other officers pass by and, whatever. I don't see evidence that of intent to use the vehicle as a weapon. So let's go here. So I shared this right here, and I encourage you to go to my Twitter. You don't have to hit the like button. I don't care about interactions, anything right now. I care about the truth. But I encourage you to go to my Twitter page and take a look at this video yourself and try to be extremely honest and objective about what you are seeing. So let me go, and then I'm going to talk about some more case law after we take a look at this, and I'll show you guys how it applies. So This video, my caption, he leaned into the hood of the car and bumped his chest off of it. Clear as day here. Can't believe I never zoomed in and slowed this down myself. Yeah, guys, so I'll be real. This footage, so out of all the footage that's come out, this is the one that I think the Trump supporters have been spreading a lot to try to make their best arguments. And I've taken a few looks at it. And to me, when I was first doing it, I was just annoyed. I was like, this doesn't show anything. It doesn't show like his perspective, you know, and I feel like this is extra grainy and you can't actually really see like who hits what or whatever. And I just thought it was a bad video in terms of quality of evidence. So I never really analyzed it that well. And along with that, I thought with all the other evidence that I had looked at, there's enough there to show that this officer did not have the justification to shoot this woman in the middle of the street. So, but I should have looked at this footage. I shouldn't have neglected looking at it because now I think this is another bit of evidence that MAGA people put forward that actually, if you don't get hypnotized by the campaign of all these fucking people saying a video shows something when it doesn't, if you actually watch this, you can see that this happens. Guys, I know it's really hard to be objective right now. I know it's really hard. I'm begging you to just look at it and try to see what I'm talking about here. Because I know you've seen this video 10 times and you've said, oh, he hit her. Well, number one, people have shared this sped up as well, which did I share that on? I shared it on Twitter. So people are, I can show you guys after this if we want to. People are reposting this video we're about to watch, and they're posting it sped up because it looks like she ran him over at like 30 miles an hour. She went from 0 to 30 in half a second on an icy road in an SUV. That's what people are led to believe by the versions of this that are going around on Twitter. All right, so let's watch it. Let's go. So what was that, guys? Take a look. Take a look. Oh my God, she ran him over. Or did he lean into the hood and then bump his chest off of it? Watch it again, guys. Keep watching it. Look at how his legs are. Look, guys, look. Look at how his legs are. Is anyone gonna pretend? Is anyone gonna pretend he's not leaning towards her car? Is this how you stand up straight? Let me go back to Miss Rachel mode. Is this how you stand up straight? Or is this person leaning? Are they standing up straight or leaning? I'm Miss Rachel. Look, that's both his legs. Look at this. Look at this. He is leaning into the car. He is leaning into the car so he can take a bump and fire a shot or 3 off at this bitch. Anyone, I need somebody to acknowledge reality right now. I need somebody to acknowledge reality. He is leaning onto her hood. He is leaning. Does anyone deny this? Hold on. Does anyone deny this in my chat or watching this later in the comments? Does anyone deny that this is his legs and he is leaning onto her hood and takes a bump off it? Right here. He's standing up kind of straight. Watch him put his this front foot. Watch him put it back. Uh-oh, guys, you're defending a murderer. Maddie P, what angle is this? Maddie P, what angle is this? Is this a person standing up straight, Maddie P? Do you acknowledge that those are his legs? Dude, you guys have gone full retard. You guys, don't tell me don't go full retard. You guys have gone full retard. I'm having to explain geometry for you guys to accept. You won't accept. He's leaning into the car. Will anyone not accept it? Tell me in the chat. Will you not accept he's leaning into the car? Don't call me tall. Guy is 100% a murderer. Thank you. Kirk, zero photo evidence of him getting hit. Does anyone deny he's leaning into the car? Say you deny it and explain, or you are conceding. Anyone watching this later, that's what it is. Explain how his legs being at a 45-degree angle right here means he is not leaning into the car. This isn't like this is like Michael Jackson. This looks like Michael Jackson doing his famous leaning trick. Hold on, let me pull it up. You guys are being such clowns. I'm begging you to stop. I'm just begging. Can we just observe objective reality? Can we observe objective reality? Michael Jackson. Is Michael Jackson leaning in this video? Is that a simple enough question? This is non-political. Is Michael Jackson leaning here, guys? Yes or no? Maddie P, is Michael Jackson leaning right now in these photos? Can anyone in the chat, so I don't lose my mind? Anyone? Can someone just acknowledge that Michael Jackson is leaning right here? It's a yes or no. Guys, don't get mad at me. I know you don't want to hear this from me. I know you guys don't want this. I know it's hard to deal with me being this animated and being completely against what some of you are saying. Is Michael Jackson leaning in these pictures? Anyone? Anyone? Is Michael Jackson leaning? Yes or no? No one's going to answer. No one's going to answer. The people I've been arguing with on Facebook, no one's going to answer. You're all just going to pretend. Everybody's just going to pretend because they want to just toe the political line. Everybody's scoring points right now. Everybody, we can't just be objective. No one can even admit Michael Jackson is leaning in this picture because as soon as I get you to admit that, which he objectively is leaning in this picture, we're going to go back to the video of the officer shooting the woman, the unarmed woman, and he is standing at this exact angle. You can't admit Michael Jackson is leaning because when we go back to the officer video, it shows him leaning as much as Michael Jackson. You guys can't even tell me. You guys can't even admit. Scott Starbird, fucking anybody in here can't admit that this guy is leaning. It's the most simple thing. It's the simplest thing. There's been so many people saying I'm crazy and whatever. Just to say, it's such a simple question. Is this officer leaning? I'd say yes. I should put up the picture of Michael Jackson. In fact, I'm going to do that later. Expect memes later. Expect spicy memes because I'm going to put a picture of Michael Jackson next to this officer and show you when Michael Jackson does it, it seems like it's defying the laws of physics. He's leaning so far. But then when you watch this officer do the same thing, you guys deny that he's leaning onto her car. Scott Starboard, shut the fuck up. Go watch Tim Pool. Everybody go watch Tim Pool. Guys, Tim Pool has a... I feel like it's so hard. I feel like it's so hard to just be like vindicated. I can sit here and show you how I've been right, and I can show you how I'm right. And just like, you know, no one will acknowledge it. Everyone wants to go to another chat and be like, wow, Dark Match Steve is just like really lost it. Meanwhile, you guys can't even acknowledge Michael Jackson does a lean move because it looks exactly like what this officer is doing. You can't even acknowledge Michael Jackson does a lean move. Holy crap, guys. Holy crap. I like this, you know, I'm just putting this out into the internet for later. It's fine. I like, for real. If people don't want to actually like go through a mental exercise and like observe objective reality in real time on my stream, it's okay. I get it. No one wants to play along and like, you know, everybody wants to pretend they don't know the Michael Jackson move. Scott Starboard, when did I ever say the cop didn't touch the car? Never said it. Never said it. That's a straw man argument. Thank you. Never said he didn't touch the car. Never happened on here. Never been said on here. I've maintained the same position this whole time. I can't get any credit for anything. Okay, so let's move on. I think I beat that dead horse into an actual pile of fucking blood and bones. I don't know what else I can't see it for you guys, you know? Or like I can't like force you guys to see it. I can only put it in front of you and then show you Michael Jackson leaning. I can just, this is all I can do is show you Michael Jackson leaning like this. And he's leaning so far that it took the whole world by storm, just completely baffled at how Michael Jackson can lean this far and not fall over. And then when I show you this, everybody goes, oh, well, you know, whatever. No one will even acknowledge he's leaning like Michael Jackson all the way over her hood. Of course he gets hit by the car. He's leaning on it. Holy crap. You guys are going to stick with this, huh? You guys are going to stick with this. He is so fucked if he goes to court. And you guys have no idea. It's okay. It's okay. The jury's going to see this. The jury's going to see this, guys. I can guarantee you. They're going to see the Michael Jackson lean. Yeah, Scott Starboard, she drove into a cop that leaned on her car, which brings me to my next case law. Barnes v. Felix. Let's go, guys. Next case law. When an officer puts himself in harm's way, he cannot then defend against the threat. Thank you, Scott. Thank you. On to the next thing. Let's look this one up, guys. Over here to this tab. Here we go. Let's solve this murder. Barnes v. Felix. Oh, look, there might be a badge cam for us to watch. Or dash cam. Let's check it out. SupremeCourt.gov. Let's take a look at Wikipedia here first. easily digestible. Barnes v. Felix, United States Supreme Court case that reaffirmed the totality of the circumstance test for evaluating excessive force claims under the Fourth Amendment previously established in Tennessee v. Garner, which we already went over. Writing for unanimous court, Associate Justice such and such rejected moment of threat test. So this is Scott Starbird. I'm informing you guys, Scott, for real. I'm trying to educate you guys. I'm trying not to talk down to you, but I'm trying to educate you. This is your argument, Scott, that you're using right now. She drove into a cop. Okay, keep that in mind. That is your argument why, case closed, she drove into a cop. But this is the argument. You are going with an old argument, which is moment of threat. You are just assessing moment of threat. The officer got hit by the car, so he had to shoot. Well, Barnes v. Felix addresses this because an officer cannot stand in front of your car, put himself in harm's way, and then shoot at you because you drive the car forward. Number one, that was a bullet to a driver's head is not going to stop the car. Do you guys understand why it doesn't even make sense to shoot a driver driving at you? We saw what happened to Renee. The car went faster off into the distance and could have hit somebody. You realize that it doesn't make sense to shoot a car coming at you. Can you acknowledge reality that does not work? Not even in movies does that work. Do we understand that? Okay, let's move on. So, actually, let me go down here in case somebody wants to read along here. You could look at the Wikipedia yourself. But anyway, so moment of threat, that gets thrown out if the officer puts himself in that threat. So let's take a look at case background. We need to read through all this. Prior case law. 1985 said Tennessee v. Garner, the use of deadly force to prevent escape of all felony suspects, whatever the circumstance, is constitutionally unreasonable. Use of deadly force to prevent escape of all felony suspects, whatever the circumstance, is unconstitutional. So we have to be very specific about when someone is fleeing, whether it's legal or not, whether they are armed. You have to provide evidence and arguments to show intent for someone to have a weapon instead of a vehicle when you're referring to their car. You have the burden of proof to show intent. That is the law. That's not my opinion. That's the law. Graham's decision affirms the excessive force determinations must embody allowances for the fact police officers are often forced to make split-second decisions. The 3 Graham factors have since then required, at minimum, consideration of severity of the crime, imminent threat to the officer, and whether the suspect is actively resisting or evading arrest. So let's move on here. Hold on a second. Okay, so case background. Let's read through this. So this will explain the case. This will explain what happened. So some of you guys have said that this isn't applicable. I think you do not understand it if you are saying this is almost as close as you could possibly be to being like exactly the same case. You understand? This is somebody that got pulled over. An officer put himself in a compromised position by trying to get in their car. And as they drove away, he shot them. The problem is the officer jumped in their car to try to stop them from fleeing. And again, this goes back to what I showed you guys. Even though Tim Pool wants to lie to you and say the officer did not walk in front of her car, he wanted to say she pointed the car at him. We watched 2 videos objectively proving the agent walked back in front of her car as soon as the other agent who didn't shoot tried to come up and detain her. He walked in front to stop her from leaving. He put himself in the danger. So let's read through this. At 2:45 on April 28th, 2016, 24-year-old black man, Ashton Barnes, was driving a rental silver Toyota Corolla on the Sam Houston Tollway in Houston, Texas, when he was pulled over by Roberto Felix Jr., a traffic enforcement officer from Harris County, due to an unpaid toll connection to the car. But so he had some kind of toll, Sun Pass, we got here in Florida or whatever. He had some kind of using the toll roads, didn't pay the fucking fines, so they tried to confront him about it. Remember here, this guy gets killed in this situation over tolls. Keep that in mind. Remember this. He got shot and killed over unpaid tolls. This wasn't a murderer, a murder suspect. This was a cop just trying to stop someone from fleeing, which arguably is what we saw with the ICE agent. Due to unpaid toll connections. When asked, Mr. Barnes could not show a driver's license nor proof of insurance. He told Felix that it may be in the trunk of the car. Barnes opened the trunk without getting out of the car, turned off the car ignition, and removed the keys from the ignition. Felix later claimed to have smelled marijuana, which is illegal for recreational use in Texas. No trace of drugs were ever found in the car, nor on Barnes. Oh, how about that? Imagine that. After the shooting, a firearm was recovered from the glove compartment of the car, which is irrelevant. Because his gun was never used in this. So anyway, let's keep going. Felix ordered Barnes to exit the vehicle, pulled out his gun. Barnes opened the driver's side door without exiting the vehicle, and the car's left blinker turned on. Felix pointed his gun at Barnes and shouted, "Don't fucking move," and stepped onto the car's said "don't fucking move" and stepped onto the car's door as it began to move forward with the door still open. Felix fired 2 shots. Barnes was pronounced dead at the scene. Felix had been a police officer since 2004, was involved in another fatal shooting in 2007. He was not disciplined for Barnes's killing. Nice. Based. Kill a guy over toll violations. Based. So they investigated the shooting. August 31st, 2016, a 12-person grand jury declined to bring charges against Felix in the death of Barnes. Later that day, Black Lives Matter protests attended by Barnes's mother and father took place outside the Harris County 180th Criminal Court. On that same day, dashcam video of the stop was released. Barnes's mother brought an excessive force claim against Felix on her son's behalf. They dismissed her claim, citing moment of threat doctrine. The moment of threat doctrine evaluates here we go, guys. Listen up. Moment of threat doctrine evaluates Fourth Amendment violations only within the context of the narrow window when the officer's safety is allegedly threatened, excluding the events that preceded it. Okay? So this is telling you the moment of threat thing, when you evaluate an officer's action just based on the moment of threat, you are excluding everything that led up to that situation. Meaning you are excluding the officer's actions which may have led to the deadly force being necessary. This is what we are talking about in the Renee Good case. The officer's actions, I just objectively proved. He walked in front of her car only after the other agent tried to detain her. This is applicable. Where were we at? Limits the court's inquiry to a 2-second time frame from when the car began to move with Felix on its door sill to the shooting. So yeah, the officer's foot was like not on the door that opens. Well, we'll watch the badge cam. I actually haven't watched, or the dash cam. I haven't watched it yet. But yeah, if I'm understanding correctly, the door was open and the officer sort of put his foot like partly inside of his car. Like he put his like foot on the edge of the car where the door would become flush with at the bottom. You guys know what I'm talking about? The actual threshold of the car door. Both the district court judge and appeals court had misgivings about the very narrow approach to deadly force claims. So subsequently appealed to the Supreme Court. So all right, so majority opinion. I think this goes explaining the decision. So, writing for a unanimous court, Associate Justice Elaine Kagan rejected the Fifth Circuit's moment of threat doctrine. So, this judge is saying you can't justify the officer's actions based on moment of threat doctrine. I'm rejecting that. Supreme Court judge is rejecting that because the officer put himself in the position where he had to defend himself unnecessarily. Do you guys get this? Maddie P, I know you're saying joke, joke, joke. Bro, I'm sorry. You guys just don't know what you're talking about. You guys, there's no way. I know 90% of you people saying that this doesn't apply. This is your first time hearing about this, and don't try to tell me otherwise. Don't even try. I haven't watched the case itself. I know about this already. I've heard about this like a decade. Well, this one's recent. The other one, the Tennessee one, is older. This one is from last year. This one's from 2025, I believe. Barnes v. Felix. Kirk Roy, calling someone a big boy is not a threat. DMS, so you're admitting Renee was a threat. Well, no, so you're trying to get me to concede at the fact that she was an intent threat, and that is not true. There's no evidence that she intended a threat. She was a threat. Again, this is why, Scott, you guys try to, for real, pay attention here. The fact that she was a threat by moving her car forward to the right to escape, that threat was made by the officer walking back in front of her car. Do you understand that? That is why this case is applicable. Because this officer in this case had to shoot to defend himself, he thought, to stop himself from getting badly injured because this person pulled away while he had his foot in their door. The officer created that threat in both situations. This is really simple stuff, guys. Maddie says, I'm not even talking about you. Okay, well, that's fine. I don't know. I peek at the chat. I've seen people saying that I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. It's okay, guys, whatever. We can disagree. I'm telling you that there are legitimate legal arguments for why this cop probably fucked up really bad here. No. Good point. Don't call me tall. By the way, did you ever notice the gold Chevy Tahoe blocking the road was Officer Ross's? He blocked her and then stood directly in the only direction she could move. Exactly. They fucking boxed her in. They boxed her in. They tried to pretend she boxed them in, but they boxed her in. I know the chat has a life of itself, bro. I thought you were talking about me saying I'm a joke. That's not nice. Guys, I'm trying my fucking hardest here, and why do I care? Again, I'll say it's okay if I sound like a pussy. I don't like seeing people gloat about the death of what may be an innocent person. I know it's not all the people in my chat doing this. I know that's not the case. It's not Maddie has not done that. I'm just saying the vibes right now, the vibes are so bad. And it's partly because people are completely ignorant about the law. Let's bring up, hold on. So let's hear an attorney, guys. I told you, I saved an attorney breaking this down, have not watched it. Let me show you guys my history so you can know that I'm not lying about this. I have not watched this yet. Let me show you guys. YouTube. All right, see, look, check it out. I got the gay stuff at the top, the reels of the shirtless guys doing construction. This is how you know. This is my real watch history, okay? We've got the intro song we just watched. And then here, down here. Beyond the moment, police training must change. Barnes v. Felix breakdown.
They shut me up and
Tactical attorney. Let's go, guys.
scheme to ruin.
This is from 7 months ago, so this is completely unrelated to the event that just happened. White Ice T said, DMS, stop using big words, please. Thank you for asking me to do that, because I've been trying to use bigger words to impress you guys, and it's really wearing on me, okay? I'm really stretching the extent of my vocabulary. Okay, I'll go down here. All right, so let's check this out. Oh, did you guys see? You saw when I went to click on the video, I only got like a minute into this or something. I think I may have even skipped a little forward because I thought about using this guy for a thumbnail. So I have not watched this.
My life.
This guy could totally shove this up my ass and break it off.
That's what you did.
I have no idea. We're on a tightrope. I got it all on the line right now.
Just apologize.
No, Tony, no. The whole world is going to know the truth.
He's a damn hero is what he is.
I'm just getting started. Dead Man's Wire, rated R.
Patrolling outside of Houston.
Okay, yeah, 41 seconds in. So here we go. Let's start this over. Let's hear this guy break down his... I don't know if this guy's a real attorney. Actually, I should have checked into that, but his channel is Tactical Attorney. Oh, yeah, someone came here. You should totally do an update on this video considering today's events. Former prosecutor. Okay, so let's take a look, guys. Let's see what he says. I could be completely wrong. Guys, stick around. I could be completely wrong here. I really could. I have not watched this.
How do courts determine whether or not the use of force is objectively reasonable? What does that mean? And more importantly, when it comes to perceived threats, does the court look at just the moment of the threat, those 2 or 3 seconds when the perceived threat happens? Or do the courts look at the big picture, the totality of circumstances? The Supreme Court has answered that question in a recent decision, Barnes versus Felix. We're going to talk about it. We're going to break it down right now. April 28th, 2016. Felix, law enforcement officer, patrolling outside of Houston, gets dispatched to a car on the interstate that's got outstanding toll. So he goes out there and he's looking for this vehicle and he sees it. It's a Toyota Corolla. So he turns on his lights to initiate a traffic stop. Mr. Barnes pulls over on the side of the road and Officer Felix walks up to Barnes's vehicle and does the typical thing: license, insurance, registration.
Wait, hold on a second. Fucking Scott Starbird said, DMS, if the right was saying this woman shouldn't have been shot, Kirkentall would be against you. Oh, you're saying that they're just being political hacks? I don't think so. Are you guys liberals? I don't even, that's the thing. I don't even care where anyone's political, whatever. I am actually just going by arguments. I have no idea. Some people that come in my chat, I don't care how people lean politically. Scott says yes. Okay. All right. Well, you know what? I need to have somebody in here agreeing with me. God damn it, Scott. I know you're thinking about banning them because you want to drive me crazy and make it look like I'm all by myself. I know that's what you want. You want to see me pull my mustache hairs out. I know. I get it. It's okay. But no, yeah, it's real funny. No, it's funny. Yeah, everybody have a laugh. No, it's okay. I don't need anyone in here believing me, agreeing with me,
all that good stuff.
It's totally not mentally draining me and stressing me out in life.
But Barnes tells Felix, I don't have my license with me. I forgot it or something like that. And by the way, this is a rental car and it's in my girlfriend's name. So at that point, as the questioning's going on, from the record, it appears that Barnes starts digging around in the center console and the officer's telling him, stop digging around, kind of getting a little bit nervous. And at some point, the officer claims, Felix claims that he smells marijuana. Barnes says, I might have my ID in the trunk. So Felix says, well, go ahead and open the trunk, but just stay in your seat and open it from there. Felix gets a little nervous apparently, and he puts his hand on his gun because Barnes opens the door to get out when he tells him to get out, but then he doesn't get out. Instead, the car that's off, he'd shut it off, he turns it back on. And at this point, the record indicates that Officer Felix puts his hand on his gun and he gives him some sort of command to stop or get out of the car. And then he starts up the car and he starts moving forward. Approximately 5 seconds pass from the moment this car starts moving to the moment that it stops. And a lot happens in these 5 seconds. So the car starts to move. Felix jumps into the door sill. When he's in the door sill, his head's above the car. So he's just there on the car as it's starting to pull away. And he yells twice to don't effing move. And then 2 seconds later, fires 2 or 3 shots, I believe, into the vehicle, striking and killing Mr. Barnes. Then the car comes to a stop. 5 seconds pass in total. From the time that he jumps onto the door sill to firing the shots, only 2 seconds pass. And then the car comes to a stop. Should the court consider only the moment of the threat, only those 2 seconds?
Guys, I can't tell you guys enough how much I appreciate you guys being in here. I hope nobody gets any real heat with me. I know we already got real heat. There's some people we got real heat with. And that's unfortunate. You guys know how many people I've been blocked by this whole thing? People that I haven't called retard. Okay? Do you know how many people I haven't called retard that I should have called retard that have blocked me and now I can't call retard? Do you know how many people that is? In the end, guys, hopefully we just have the truth and we can, see some like professionals break this down and all learn something, guys, because really this is why there's part of me that's doing this because I'm angry at how people are reacting to it. But part of me, this is important for people to learn. And I'm going to show you guys, it's only 10:15. We're going to get through this video in a minute. I'm going to show you guys on what I'm going through on Facebook. Not like I want sympathy because I'm dealing with, crazy people who are, when I'm trying to debate law, they're talking about, whose dick is in my butt. Okay. I don't need sympathy from that. I just want to show you guys how uneducated everyone is. And it's both sides, guys. The problem is I'm friends with mostly Trump supporters on my Facebook. It's a bunch of, older boomers and stuff. And they're like arguing with me about stuff you can Google. They don't even know how to use Google. You guys understand this? People are walking around actually not knowing what their rights are. And this is how you end up in dangerous situations, not knowing how to interact with the police and where your rights begin and end and where their authority begins and ends. This is how you end up into trouble out in the real world, is just walking around sort of thinking I kind of get what my rights are. I think I have freedom of speech, like I'm allowed to say whatever, unless a cop tells me I have to shut up. No. People just don't know what their rights are.
And the perceived threat. Would a reasonable officer feel that they are an immediate threat of death or great bodily harm just looking at those 2 seconds? And the Fifth Circuit said, yes, that it would be objectively reasonable if we only look at those 2 seconds. However, in order for this to make sense, in order for you, the officer, you, the watcher, the listener out there, in order for this to make sense and for this ruling to really grasp what it means, you must, as I often say in my courses, you must understand the deeper meaning. You have to understand Graham versus Garner and how the court has applied that principle to excessive use of force claims. So the context...
Graham versus Garner is another... I thought about bringing that up. In fact, I do have it. I'll show you guys. Graham versus Garner. I did have that one saved, but it's a little bit... we'll see what Graham versus Garner gets into objective reasonable standard. So let's let him explain it a little bit, and I can maybe, if I have to break it down in layman's terms, we'll go for it.
Of this is a Section 1983 case. These are typically the types of claims that are filed against law enforcement. Whenever you hear or see about lawsuits against law enforcement for civil rights violations, they're almost always 1983 cases. 1983 is a federal statute, very simple statute that says if the government violates a constitutionally protected right or any federally protected right for that matter, you can sue them in federal court and they can pay you money. It's not criminal. You don't go to jail. That's a different statute. This is civil. A 1983 case is Barnes, the plaintiff, is in his estate because he passes away. In this case, files a lawsuit against Officer Felix in the department for violating his Fourth Amendment rights. Why? Because in Graham versus Garner in 1989, the United States Supreme Court said all.
I wanted the word cuppa, as in cup of tea, I thought it would be great to mix with hug. When I saw the...
That's retarded.
Excessive use of force claims will be analyzed under the Fourth Amendment. That means under 1983, the lawsuit's alleging that the officer has violated Barnes's Fourth Amendment right, a seizure. Applying force is a seizure. That's what the court talked about in Graham. And the court said if it's a seizure under the Fourth Amendment, what is the touchstone of the Fourth Amendment? The court says it all the time, reasonableness. So in Graham versus Garner, the Supreme Court developed a framework, a rule for analyzing these excessive use of force claims. And that rule requires that any seizure, any use of force by an officer must be objectively reasonable. We'll only view the facts through the lens of an objectively reasonable officer on the scene under those same circumstances. They don't apply 20/20 hindsight of what we learned later because that's not fair. They don't apply policy to that analysis. They apply.
Right. So this is another thing which I think there's misinformation going around about Renee Good's past, but this is like the post hoc rationalization type of arguments that people are putting forth to justify taking her out, showing her criminal record that she may have like fought with police before and whatever the fuck. None of that is relevant when you are analyzing this one situation. You can sort of view it as a situation. You can't go back. Hindsight is 20/20 and look at other things, other factors that someone in the moment would reasonably not be able to know when making their decision on use of force.
By the facts and circumstances through the lens of an objectively reasonable officer. In order to get there and determine that, the court came up with what I refer to as the SURF factors. The court will ask, what is the immediacy, if any, of the threat, of the perceived threat? Was the suspect resisting, by fighting, or by flight? All of these factors are considered by the court in determining, was that use of force objectively reasonable? So that's the context of how this case goes to the Supreme Court. And these factors, by the way, are not equal. In almost every case that you look at, the court always says that the most important factor here is immediate threat. And especially in a case like this, where you're talking about deadly force, if we look back to Tennessee v. Garner, deadly force is only authorized. It's only reasonable under the Fourth Amendment if the officer has probable cause to believe that the subject represents an immediate, not later, not sometime in the future, immediate threat of death or great bodily harm to the officer or others. Fifth Circuit was saying we're only looking at that precise moment when the threat happened. In this case, the court could only consider those 2 seconds when the officer was on the car. And if you take that into consideration, of course, an officer on a moving car that's taking off and not stopping is an immediate threat of death or great bodily harm.
Right. So you guys that are saying the officer is at threat if there is a car coming towards him, you are 100% right. So if you look at it in a vacuum and don't consider any other factors going into the situation, you can look at a car that is turning a little bit towards the right and going straight, and an officer is at the left side of the car, even though we can leave out the fact that he's doing a Michael Jackson lean towards the car. We can pretend that that's not real, even though he is leaning on her car, and I just proved that. We can leave that out for the sake of argument at the moment. But if you just look at a car that's going forward and towards the right, and an officer is standing at the left side nose of the car, and you don't know he's leaning, but he gets bumped, well, you look at just that and you go, okay, it is a threat. I mean, obviously it's a threat. It's a car that's at least partly coming in his direction. Okay, yes, that is true, but we have to look at what led up to that threat being an actual threat. Was that just this woman trying to aim her car at him? I've already proved that that's not true. He is towards the left side of her car, and she turns to the right. You can see her in the video going like this with her steering wheel, turning away from him. But either way, if you just look at that, you could say, oh, that's an immediate threat. Well, again, Barnes v. Felix says, as I'm hoping he'll lay out a little bit, more detailed than what I'm explaining. Barnes v. Felix says the officer can't put himself in that situation. So Barnes is the black guy that got shot. Felix is the officer. In just that moment, when his foot's in the car and someone's pulling off, that is an immediate threat that he has to do something about. Yes, but it's not okay what he did because he put himself in the situation where he was threatened. The officer's risky behavior put himself at risk of being threatened and then had to defend against it. You know, that's like if someone wants to use self-defense when they have to shoot someone who's like attacking them, but you came up and pistol whipped them before or something. And it's like, then you want to claim self-defense. No, you created the situation that caused you to be threatened. So let's let him explain it a little more.
The officer or even potentially others. That's the issue that's in front of the Supreme Court. The holding from the Supreme Court is unanimous. They reject the moment of threat analysis, the moment of threat rule, and say no rule that produces consideration of prior events in assessing a police shooting is reconcilable with the fact-dependent and context-sensitive approach we have prescribed. A court deciding a use of force case cannot review the totality of the circumstances if it has put on chronological
blinders. So that's what he's saying. You can't properly assess a situation by just looking at the moment of the threat, the one moment of imminent threat. You have to look at the totality of the circumstance, meaning how did that threat end up materializing?
The pro doesn't start under the lights.
It materialized because an officer walked in front of a woman's car as his partner was trying to detain her.
It starts in the kitchen, where factor chefs dial in balance, the way coaches fine-tune plays, because what you put in is what you get out.
Guys, don't buy this stuff. The black plastic is made from recycled computer parts and it has chemicals in it. Don't buy this Factor food. They use black plastic and it's food frozen in there, and then you heat it and all the chemicals leach into your food. Don't buy this.
Factor. Eat like a pro.
You're welcome.
Blinders. So essentially what the court's saying is when we came out with Graham, we stressed that the court should consider the totality of circumstances. This moment of threat rule, it just does not comport with that. So a couple of things come out of this case that are takeaways. First of all, absolutely without any discussion or debate now, Graham should be clear that courts are to consider a totality of circumstances, not just the moment that threat happens. I love that quote, no chronological blinders. And really it really makes sense if you think about it. The other thing is the court said there's no time limit here. So you need to analyze potentially prior events. Those prior events may show why a reasonable officer would perceive an otherwise ambiguous conduct as threatening or instead is innocuous. So with that said, the court overturns it. They send it back. They overturn the Fifth Circuit's decision to dismiss the case. They send it back. It'll be relitigated. What are the takeaways? And I think there's a lot. This is a big case. So one thing I'll note right now before I jump into the takeaways, the court skirted a bigger issue that we've all been wondering, and we see it a lot. We're seeing it come up more and more here in the 10th Circuit, and that is the question, can an officer's negligently created exigency, i.e. officer doesn't de-escalate and negligently creates the circumstances?
Here we go, guys. Brother. Sounds like he's about to explain this just like I've been saying this whole time at way too loud of a volume. Let's go.
And an officer's negligently created exigency, i.e. officer doesn't de-escalate and negligently creates the circumstances that then requires force to be used. Responded to a scene, doesn't de-escalate, escalates it, the person gets armed, and then they use deadly force. Should that be taken into consideration as part of the reasonableness? Well, the court stays away from it totally. They don't want to answer it. If you listen to the oral arguments, Both sides don't want to deal with it, and the court doesn't want to deal with it. They said it didn't come up. We're not going to address it. Now, we can make some educated guesses on that based on the prior case law. And this case kind of has some gray area rollover with it. However, they avoid that argument completely, and they simply answer the question here that the court is to consider the totality of circumstances and not the moment of threat. So what are the takeaways? I got three takeaways for you, the law enforcement officer out there. And hey, if you're the general public watching this, I love the comments that you guys are putting out there. It's been crazy. So keep those comments coming. Let's see what you guys got here. What are your thoughts on this case? 3 takeaways for law enforcement. Number 1, absolutely totality of circumstances. In your training, in your legal training in the classroom, and in your reality-based training, you have to ensure, you should probably look at your policies and your procedures and see, are we doing scenarios that would make our officers articulate that big picture analysis and not just, hey, there's a guy running at me with a knife. Takeaway number 2, do you have de-escalation training? Are your officers prepared to give warnings if feasible? We're seeing that a lot here in the 10th Circuit where, yes, you only have to give a warning if feasible, but there's a lot of situations where the court is finding that it is definitely feasible. And if you don't give those warnings, they're denying qualified immunity in some cases. If you're watching this and you're a law enforcement officer, and I know you're out there because I see these departments all the time, I get questions all the time. If you are not spending and prioritizing money, time, and resources on legal training, do you have a police legal advisor? Do you have an attorney that will come in and teach you this case? Does your department know Graham? It is shocking to me. If I go into a class with 30 officers on a department I've never worked with, and I say, tell me about Graham, they've heard of it. What are the serve factors? Crickets. So if your department doesn't focus on that training, you have got to make sure that you're getting a police legal advisor, that you're spending time, resources, even if it's just the basics, to go to a class, go to a FLETC class, get certified, and absolutely 100%, you have got to be doing reality-based training scenarios. Even if you're a small department, work with neighboring agencies, do simulators, do something. You need reality-based training. All right, guys, thanks for tuning into the episode again.
Okay, so I wanted to let him keep going. Let's go back to here because if I'm not mistaken, so here he's answering, they're referring to de-escalation. And does the officer have the obligation to de-escalate? And if their escalation causes the threat, then is that, a bad, is that a little baddie thing to do? Is that a no-no, as they say? It sounds like he's saying they didn't address the aspect of de-escalation. However, I guess that's not exactly tied into the issue at hand when relating this to the Renee Good case. Because we don't even have to argue that, that officer didn't de-escalate or whatever. That's not the issue here. The issue is this ICE agent walked in front of her car as they were clearly trying to detain her. He walked towards the front of her car and put himself in the position where he didn't even have to fire his gun. He could have stepped out of the way. In fact, you see the moment when he's reaching for his gun, there's time that he could step out of the way. But instead, he chooses to reach for his gun and try to stop a moving vehicle by shooting the driver, which makes no fucking sense. Let me play this again.
A lot of situations where the court is finding that it is definitely feasible, and if you don't give those warnings, they're denying qualified immunity in some.
Okay, so warnings, who's over here?
3 takeaways for law enforcement. Number 1, absolutely totality of circumstances. In your training, in your legal training in the classroom, and in your reality-based training, you have to ensure you
here we go.
Responded to a scene, doesn't de-escalate, escalates it, the person gets armed, and then they use deadly force. Should that be taken into consideration?
Okay, so this part is about escalation, which is not exactly the point we're getting at with the Renee Good case. This is more of officer putting himself at risk, which is addressed in this. That is addressed by this case because that is why it was ruled a violation of the Fourth Amendment, if I'm following correctly.
As part of the reasonableness. Well, the court stays away from it totally. They don't want to answer it. If you listen to the oral arguments, both sides don't want to deal with it, and the court doesn't want to deal with it. They said it didn't come up. We're not going to address it. Now, we can make some educated guesses on that based on the prior case law, and this case kind of has some gray area rollover with it. However, they avoid that argument completely, and they simply answer the question here that the court is to consider the totality of circumstances and not the moment of threat. So what are the takeaways? I got three takeaways for you, the law enforcement officer out there. And hey, if you're the general public watching this, I love the comments that you guys are putting out there. It's been crazy. So keep those comments coming. Let's see what you guys got here. What are your thoughts on this case?
Scott Sarbert said the car wasn't moving and she made eye contact. I'm more certain than ever that he was legally justified. What are you talking about, Scott? The car wasn't moving and she made eye contact? We can pull it back up. We're done with that. I just got to go to Facebook last to show you guys some stuff. You're talking about this video, correct? What moment are you talking about in this video, Scott? You're saying she makes eye contact. Hold on, I'm closing out some tabs. Dude, Tim Pool, I have no respect for Tim Pool. I have absolutely none. I can't believe he's actually lying and telling people that the officer didn't walk in front of her car, that he's just standing there. Maddie P, no, you might be right on that. I might owe somebody $100 because I bet that he would at least get possibly manslaughter if this goes to criminal court. There's a chance that that might not even happen. No, Maddie, you might be 100% right, dude. You might. Oh, no. Scott, I didn't mean to imply that you're getting info from Tim Pool. That's not what I meant. I'm just saying he objectively is misleading. He's implying that the officer is just standing there and then she points her car at him. And I showed you guys with two different camera angles that he does a 360 around her car, walks back to his own Tahoe, and then walks back in front of her car as soon as the other agent tries to detain her. Maybe, White Eyes T, these insurance companies, you know, there's no level too low for them to stoop to. What's he going to say? He tweaked his back? Yeah, let's play this again. I don't know what time you're talking about eye contact, Scott. Let's play this from the beginning. She just backed up away from him. When he walked to the front of her car, she put it in reverse. Backed up a little bit, giving him space, trying to de-escalate.
That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you.
Still trying to de-escalate. Poor woman, just trying to de-escalate. Didn't want to fight. She just wanted to alert illegal immigrants that ICE is there.
Show your face. I'm not mad at you. That's okay. We don't change our plates every morning, just so you know.
Doxed.
It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen, former fucking veteran. You want to come at us? You want to come at us?
See right there, guys? You see right there? He switched the phone to his left hand, the non-dominant hand. Why would somebody with a pistol on their right hip go from filming on their cell phone to their left hand? Why would you do that, you think? Think maybe they know that they're about to pull their weapon? Do you think maybe they're planning? Or he just randomly switched it over right before shit started to hit the fan, right? I guess that's it.
I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy.
Okay. Again, here we are. Officer walked. The shooter is at his own vehicle. He's at his own driver door. Door is open. He's standing at his own vehicle. Tim Pool's going to tell you this woman basically turned her car completely in this direction and almost rammed him into his own car. That's not true. He walked over. Here we go. Take 100,000.
Okay.
Only goes to look out of the car. He's still standing here until he realizes, oh, we're going to detain her. I better go stand in front of her car so she can't move.
Get out of the fucking car. Get out of the car.
Scott, where are you? Like, for real, I need to have people on to discuss this, because I need to know exactly what point she's looking at him where it makes it reasonable for you to think she's trying to hit him. I don't know what looking at him has to do with anything when he's on the left side and she's clearly trying to turn to the right to get around him. I don't see what her eyes looking at him shows intent. How? And let's go back to this one. Again, guys, let's go back to the Michael Jackson lean just for a minute. Oh, it wasn't this one. It was this one. Here we go. Or is this the... Where'd it go? Is this the wrong one? Oh, it is. I got too many Twitter tabs open. That's the problem. Here we go. He's leaning on her car. Again, guys, I'm not going to let this go. I'm not going to let this go. This was wrong. This was wrong. Look at this. He is leaning on her car. He is leaning on her car. Oh, you say he took a bump? Yeah, he did. He was trying to. Yes, he did. He certainly did take a bump because he put his chest up to her car. Again, we'll go back here, see where his legs are. You can see this is both of his. He doesn't have a wide stance like he's just doing like a split almost. This is both of his legs. Both of his legs right here. You see, there's the front leg and the back leg. And then before she moves, he goes, I'm going to lean on this bitch's car so I can shoot her in the face. I just like, guys, I don't know what else you need to see. I really don't know what else people need to see. Can people really not tell when someone gave themselves a reason to use their gun? Can people really not tell that that's what's happening here? I'm like actually stunned. Like how do people not see that this is a man leaning on someone else's car so that he can take a bump and put a bullet or three in their head? That is exactly what this is. Look at that. The only reason he took a bump is because he is leaning over her car. Absolutely, absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. I can't believe people defend this. I'm so baffled. I'm so baffled. Look at this. Unbelievable. Scott said he was in front of that car for about 3 seconds before she drove into him. Hold on, the chat moved. The car was moving and then he jumped in front of it. Okay, do we need to watch it again? Guess we do. Which one? That one. Scott, how, like, are you analyzing this in real time? Well, I'm not sure what, hold on a second. If she drove into strangers in the street, people would fault the agent for not doing anything. He almost caused her to hit other people. He caused her to hit 2 other cars and a telephone pole, Scott. If she drove into strangers, what evidence does anyone have that she was going to drive into strangers? What evidence is there, Scott? She could have got abducted by aliens too. A lot of stuff could have happened. What evidence do you have that the agent should think she's going to do that? He's trying to box her in, bro. This is clearly what's happening. There's nothing like, oh, she just ran over 2 other people, and so they have to get in front of her car and stop her. No, that did not happen. Hold on, Scott's saying, but if the argument is that she didn't see the agent in front of her when she fled the arrest, then she could have hit somebody else. That is not the argument. That is not the argument. No one's saying she didn't see him. I'm saying she did see him and tried to drive around him, and he leaned into her car. I'll keep showing this as much as we need to. She tried to, Scott, I already proved she is turning. He's at the left. She is turning her wheel to the right. He is leaning on her car. Right here. Leaning on her car. Scott, how are you going to get around somebody when they're leaning on your car? Where his legs are, he's not in danger. You realize where if he just stood up straight, he wouldn't have gotten hit. Scott, can you acknowledge right now that if he stood up straight, I just want to know if people are awake. Am I awake? Am I dreaming? Can you at least acknowledge objectively if he stood up straight, he would not have been hit? He wasn't directly in front of her car, Scott. His legs, Scott, acknowledge right now that if he stood up straight, he would not get hit. Acknowledge it. Acknowledge it. That's objective. Acknowledge it. How many times do I need to play this? Let's see where the tires go. Look at that. Oh, wow. His feet didn't get run over. So acknowledge right now that he wouldn't have been hit if he was standing straight up. Possibly. That's all I get. It's possibly. You haven't proved shit. Maddie, is he leaning? Maddie P, is he leaning right now? Answer the question. Is he leaning? Answer the question. I haven't proved anything. Have I proved he's leaning? Can you acknowledge he's leaning? I'll wait. We'll all just sit here. Did I prove he's leaning or not? Because you all didn't know this. You all did not know this before now. So acknowledge that I proved he's leaning. We're waiting. I haven't proven shit. Bro, you guys are wild. You guys are wild. We'll go back to this. I guess we have to do this. Well, I got rid of the Michael Jackson leaning. Maddie P, you think that's a shooting position. Maddie P. Dear Lord, Maddie P. So please tell me you're trolling me. Please, please, God, tell me you're trolling me. You think this is a shooting position, Maddie, bro? Please tell me you're trolling. Please, God, I'm praying. You have any idea how many times I've been to a range? You know I just got back from a hunting trip, right? Oh my God, you've proven he's taking a defensive stance. Matty P, say right now you think this is a position they're trained to shoot in. Yes or no? It's their tools. Tell me right now, yes or no, you think an officer is trained to lean at a 45-degree angle right now? I'm just like, I'm not going to have this. You guys pretending I'm not proving anything. You didn't know he was leaning. I know no one's going to admit it. Everyone's going to pretend that Tim Pool gave them a really based, full coverage stance on all this. And you have your, respectfully, you have your head up your ass if you think that. I know everybody in here doesn't watch Tim Pool, but Matty P. Your chat is flipping flow, Steve. Not my fault. What does that mean? I guess I just have to put this up. Is he leaning, Matty P? Is Michael Jackson leaning right now? Dude, this is so... Matty P, I'm just telling you, bro, like, I'm not, like, mad at anybody, but this is so disingenuous. I'm sorry, dude, but this is so disingenuous. I'm actually, like, going through the trouble of showing you guys reasonable explanations as to why this is not okay, and you guys are pretending that I'm saying nothing. I'm going through case law with you guys. I'm slowing down the videos, objectively showing you this guy, the agent, is leaning almost that much. He looks like this in the video, and you think that that's a shooting stance, Matty P. And my chat's moving slow. Okay, but can you answer the question? You think that this is a shooting stance? Please answer the question. You think an officer's trained to lean like this? Because I have to dispel this. It's Maddie, it's beyond ridiculous, bro. They are not taught to lean like this. That is crazy. How many gunfights have I been in? Bro, what a crazy question. You're answering my question with a question. I'm asking you a direct question because I'm done like playing around with people pretending that I'm not bringing facts. I know like people like to say that in my chat, and you guys like, you know, dude, for real. I mean, if it's got to be that no one wants to be in my chat because they can't handle the truth, I'll just do these live streams so that the video can exist on YouTube. And I don't have to edit and stuff. Like, for real, guys, I'm done with everybody pretending that I'm not showing you facts. I'm done with everyone pretending that I'm, like, just emotionally screaming liberal talking points. Either you can objectively acknowledge this guy is leaning almost 45 degrees, and that is not what they are taught. If you can't acknowledge that, you need to tell me, do you think that they are taught? You just said that he's in a tactical stance. Is that what you actually think? Because I'll show you videos of them training. No one has, let me tell you, Matty P, I've been to a gun range probably a few hundred times, never seen someone stand like this. Never happened. Does not happen. 2 feet behind you like this. Maddie, you think people shoot at the gun range like this? It's a serious question. Because we just kept, guys, if we want to, like, I'm just, yeah, absolute and exaggerated shooting position. Bro. Bro, Matty P, have you ever been to a gun range? Can I ask you? Have you ever been to a gun range? Here, I'll bring you guys over to this tab now. Let's see pictures of people at gun ranges. Look for the person standing at a 45-degree angle, guys. You're supposed to be looking for somebody leaning over into, over the line into the actual area where the bullets go. That's what we're looking for here. Let's see, 45-degree angle. 45-degree angle. See someone sitting down, leaning forward. Okay. 45-degree angle. Anybody standing at a, let's see. Let's take a look at this. Where'd it go? Okay, here we go. Let's go over to this tab. Let's see how they're trained. Let's see what it looks like when they're trained. Anyone standing at a 45-degree angle. Can anyone point out someone standing at a 45-degree angle? I'm talking out of my ass. Bro, be done for real. If the people in my chat can't acknowledge, are you serious? Are you serious? Yes. You said they're trained to stand like that. Matty P, you said they're trained to stand like that. Have you been to a gun range? You did what stupid shit for 23 years? Maddie, show me. I'll give you this. Send me a link. We follow each other on Twitter. Send me a picture of someone else in training, standing at a 40, leaning like that, anywhere near a 45-degree angle while shooting. Any picture. Now I'm being a dick. Dude, show me. I'm asking you to just show me, bro. Well, how am I being the dick? You said they're trained like this. Don't you get I'm trying to have like an actual factual conversation. You've never noticed. You guys are lying if you say you noticed that officer was leaning at a 45-degree angle before I showed you tonight. You just saw that for the first time. You are now trying to justify it by saying they're trained that way. You have no clue what you're talking about, bro. And you're saying I'm a dick because I'm showing you no one is trained to lean at a 45-degree angle to shoot. You said that's the case. Show me. I'm showing you a picture of people at a fucking gun range in training. No one is standing any way like that. Don't put words in my mouth. Do I need to like scroll up back through the chat? Okay, let me see. It's an exaggerated shooting position. That's what you just said there. Let's see. Let's go back up. You've proven he's taking a defensive stance. That's what you just said. He's proven he's taking a defensive stance. Here's this you said. Why won't it highlight? Any day now, StreamYard, thanks. Yeah, okay. Is that maybe a shooting position? Steve, you ever been trained? Are you not arguing that that is possibly a shooting position? I'm telling you that that is ridiculous, and I'm right. I just highlighted your message. How much more honest can I be besides going back in the chat and highlighting your message? You said that's a shooting position, my dude. That's preposterous. Where's Steven Seagal? I'm just I'm baffled, guys. I'm baffled. I've reverted to clickbait. Bro, send me a picture. Send me a picture of someone shooting at a 45-degree angle. A bad one, bro. Can you tell? Okay, so you think, hold on, Matty P, I'll follow your argument here. Please stick with me. I'll follow your argument. So you're arguing here, it's a bad, okay, I see what you're saying. I'll entertain this. Eat a bag of dicks, Steve, you're right. Thanks. No, I'll entertain this. Let's follow this. So now you are saying he was in the shooting position. It's just a bad shooting position. Okay. So, hold on. Let's go back to this video. Just for the sake of argument, even though it's completely preposterous, let's go back to the video. So, why, if he can lean forward, people are arguing that he shot because he was hit by the car. Okay? Why is he leaning onto the... You're saying, this is your argument that you're saying is a possibility, that he's leaning to get into the shooting position. Why does he lean towards the car to get into the shooting position instead of stepping out of the way? You're actually arguing he's reacting earlier. Do you realize what you're arguing, right? Because everyone else up until this point has said, oh, he pulled his gun and shot because the car came up and hit him. That's why the shot, he's shooting into the side of her car because he got hit and he's shooting. Why are you're now arguing he's reacting sooner and leaning towards her car, getting ready to shoot earlier? You are now arguing he is planning on shooting earlier than anyone has argued. I'm just being a dick now. I'm addressing every point everyone's bringing up, even the preposterous ones. Bro, you can't even acknowledge he's leaning. You can't even acknowledge he's leaning. You said, I'm being a dick. Bro, this is wild. This is wild. That is wild. This right here, this is wild. All of this. So wild. So no one's gonna Scott said possibly. Maddie, you're gonna argue that if the officer wasn't leaning, if he was standing up straight, do you think he was gonna get hit? Even though the car doesn't hit the officer's knees or his feet. If the officer, Maddie, can I ask you one last question? If the officer was standing up straight instead of leaning, would he have been hit? I'm asking simple questions and people are like calling me a dick. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. I really didn't maybe I am stupid at this one level that I thought this could never happen. I thought this could never happen, that I can objectively show people a video that somebody's leaning and everyone, number one, pretends like they'll kind of just not acknowledge it. And then also like ignore it in the sense that they're going to pretend that it doesn't matter. You just sent me one what? Oh, a picture? What, on Twitter? Dude, oh, you think this is what we're hold on, guys. Hold on. Maddie, perfect, bro. Perfect. Let's compare. Let's compare what we're looking at. Perfect. I appreciate it. I really do. Sincerely. Let's look at it. So Maddie P is arguing that this is what we're looking at in the video. Maddie P, do you realize that this officer is not leaning his whole body like we're seeing in the picture? I know you're going to say, oh, you're just being a dick. Do you realize that this officer is standing straight? Like his actual body isn't leaning forward. He's still at his center of gravity is lined up. You realize that his butt is out back and his forward is pushed forward. He's still balancing, right? You realize that he's still balancing. He can stand like this for 30 minutes if he wants to. He's not going to fall over. Do you see how that is different from this? Do you understand this, Maddie? Like, this is someone's whole body leaned forward. You realize that his butt is not out. He's not balanced. If the car was not there, he would fall over. You realize that, right? This is not even the same. This is someone putting their chest into someone else's car. You think this is the same? He has a recoiling spine. Bro, yeah, this is not even the same, Maddie. I'm talking about someone leaning completely their whole body over. Dude, it's so ridiculous. They're not taught to lean their whole body. It's not, the reason I know that is because it's not possible. You think this is the same? Scott said, did the agent fall over after Renee drove off? No, because he pushed off of her car. Here we go. We'll go back to this so I can show you what we're talking about. He pushes off of her car. That's why he doesn't fall. See how he has to have his front foot out until the car comes up? You see this, guys? The front foot's out. Then when the car comes up, he leans on the car so he doesn't have to have a foot forward. Yeah. Is everybody comprehending? I'm not trying to say, I'm not making an argument of who is guilty right now. I'm like just trying to establish objective facts. You guys realize that he is leaning and he only doesn't fall over because the car is there. He's not in a shooting position. Do we acknowledge that or no? Are we still going with okay, I'm done. It's fine. It's 11 something. I'm going to get the fuck out of here. You know, it's like at this point, it is like beating a dead horse. I'm trying, like, I can't even really, I can't believe I have to struggle this hard for people to be like, oh yeah, that's interesting. He actually is leaning like Michael Jackson. In fact, it is almost the same angle he's leaning onto this woman's car. And that does play a factor as to whether or not he gets hit by the car. It's just objective facts I'm trying to establish here, and I'm losing my mind. It's wild. I didn't know how difficult it could be. Just because politics are involved, it's so difficult to get someone to acknowledge that Michael Jackson is leaning. I just can't believe, I cannot believe the times where I'm just like, I'm stunned. I really do got to get out of here, though. It's late as fuck. All right, well, if I haven't run all you guys off, I'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to try to contact Nick the Gun Guy, see if he wants to come on, and we'll do a live debate. And I'm sure none of you guys are going to be here because you're sick of me talking about it, and that's fine. I'm sure Tim Pool has got some really good angles that he'll cherry pick and project his own bullshit upon. There's probably a something like that you can watch if you don't want to watch two people actually try to have like an actual conversation where we try to establish facts and come to agreements on stuff and objectively look at things. If you don't want that, there, you can skip the stream tomorrow. Okay, guys, for real. I get it. No one wants to cover this because no one in my chat is a fucking Democrat. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. This is what I want to cover right now because I think there is a dangerously strong swath of people that want to endorse what just happened to an American citizen. Okay, and it is objectively wrong. There's no ways around it for me. So I'm gonna be on here screaming, and if you want to tune in, you can, and if you don't, then don't tune in. If tuning in makes you feel guilty and you just don't even want to like put up with me, or you're just fucking sick of it, that's fine, guys. And I apologize. I'm sure there's some people that just want this to be like we just actually sit in here and jerk each other off all night. I'm sorry. We do that a lot. We really do. But then sometimes some shit triggers me and we need to go through it. That's just what it is. So anyway, I'll see you guys later. Hopefully I still have some support from some people. And you know what, guys? I feel like even if this goes to court, maybe only civilly, and either way, if it goes to court criminally, I think you guys in the long run, I think you will actually be proud of me. I think you will. I know it's really hard to see that now, and I just sound like a actual lunatic ranting and raving about this one fucking case every night on here. I get what that looks like. I really do. But sometimes you just have to follow your nose. Sometimes you just got to stick to your guns when you're pretty convinced that you're right and you haven't had any really what I think are stronger arguments than mine are, then you just have to stick with it. And, eventually, if this never goes to court, we're going to move on. I'm not going to cover this every fucking day for as long as I did the Charlie Kirk stuff. So everybody just chill out. All right. We're just going through a little bump in the road, so to speak. But it's a few bumps, actually. It's a very bumpy road, but we'll get through it, guys. Have a little faith. All right. Okay, everybody take care. I will see you guys tomorrow. Yes, today's Tuesday. Jesus, I don't even know what day it is. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We got Scott Starbird in the evening, 6 p.m. Eastern time. Around then, he'll be hopping on. Where is he in here? I think he is. Yeah, you can go to his channel here. Definitely, even though he disagrees with me, definitely go subscribe to Scott's channel. Scott is a solid dude, and his stream is great. And the chat is always fun over at Scott. So go check it out. I'll be up in his chat around a little after 6 p.m. tomorrow, and then I'll be on at 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll see, guys. I want to do this debate. I hope Nick is available, and I hope we can actually have a good, productive discussion and whatever. So that is the plan for tomorrow. I'm gonna have a backup plan in case he's not available. So anyway, Maddie, I appreciate that. I love you too, dude. I love all you guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I feel obligated to be this passionate about it. I know it sounds retarded, guys. I know. I know, guys. All right. Well, yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I love you guys. Everybody take care. Please, everybody take care of yourselves. Make smart decisions out there. And yes, it is probably safest for you to comply with the police officer. I meant to get into a more stuff with the IDs and everything tonight, but we'll do that another night. And I feel like it is worth getting into because not anybody in this chat. Again, I've played plenty of auditors, the police auditors on this channel. So I think most people know in here that whether or not you have to show your ID as a nuanced, situation. But you'd be surprised how many people just have no idea what their rights are. And I feel like that's worth getting into on here. So anyway, I'll see you guys later. Everybody take care. I love you guys a lot. Mwah. Where is it? There we go. Come here. Come here, brother.